Good morning, good morning. We will start after around 10-15 minutes. Good morning, everyone. We will start after around 10-15 minutes. You all can chat in the chat box. Good morning, good morning. Can you all hear me? Audio is fine. Audio and the screen. Yes, sir. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. When we are YouTube live, it is difficult from the part of the student to say anything. I mean to say audio from the student side. But from the next class, when we will have the class, which will be from June, then you will be able to speak also. But today, since it is YouTube live, you can only chat. So till the time when we will start after 10-15 minutes, if anybody has anything to ask. Any general query or anything. Since the exams are there 2 times, I mean to say bi-monthly and then 3 times in a year. The exams are there in Jan, Feb. The exams are there in May, June. And then the exams are there in September, October. So when the exams are there in Jan, Feb, somebody is giving exam in Jan. Then the result will be coming in the month of March. Around 15th of March, mid of March. And if the student is giving exam in February, then the result will be coming by mid of April. So suppose this May, June term over. If somebody has given exam in May, their result will come by around 15th of July. And if somebody has given exam in June, because still today somebody can give exam, there must be students who are giving, then the result will be coming by mid of August. So we can see that in the month in which you are giving exam, result will be coming around 6 weeks after that month. For May month, the result will be coming by 15th of July. And for June month, the result will be coming by around 15th of August. So it's not a question of part 1 or part 2. The month in which we are giving exam, from the end of the month, approximately 1.5 months. अगर आप मई में एग्जाम दोगे तो रिजल्ट आएगा 15th जुलाई करीब, और अगर आप एग्जाम दोगे जून में तो रिजल्ट आएगा 15th अगस्त करीब. So अभी 10-15 days में results will be coming for those who have given the exam in May. So you are targeting your part 2 in say September, October. If you give exam in September 24, result will be coming by November 15th November. If you give exam in October, result will be coming by around 15th of December. Cool. Thank you. We will start in next 10 minutes. By that time, if anybody has anything to ask, you can ask in the chat box. Whatever your query, you can type in the chat box. I will reply. For getting the IMA membership, the student need to pass both part 1, part 2 exam, and they need to have 2 years of relevant work experience. Relevant means anything you are doing in accounting, finance, management accounting, internal control, auditing. There are so many areas written on the website of the institute. So if you have worked in those areas for 2 years and the 2 exams, part 1, part 2 complete, then you are eligible for IMA membership. The work experience can be completed before starting the course, that is before giving the exams. The work experience can be done along with the course. You are studying part 1, part 2, and at the same time you are doing job also. Or the work experience can be completed after completing the exams. Like there are many students who are doing CMA US at undergraduate level. Those who are 12 pass out, BCom, BBA, first year, second year, third year students. So for those students, they can clear the exams, but after clearing the exams, they will be called as CMA affiliate. For getting the membership, when they will work for 2 years, practical experience of 2 years in any organization, then they will be getting the IMA membership. So the criteria by the IMA: pass both the exams, part 1, part 2, and 2 years of relevant work experience complete, then you are eligible for IMA membership. Those who are undergraduate 12 pass out, they may be giving exam in first year, second year, third year of their college. By passing the exams, they will be getting CMA affiliation, CMA affiliate. And when they will be completing 2 years of work experience, then they will be getting IMA membership. In any professional course, 2 to 3 years work experience is required along with passing the exams. Like in India, CA, CMA, you need to have 3 years of work experience. In ACCA, CIMA, you need to have 3 years of relevant work experience. In CMA, 2 years of relevant work experience. Good morning, everyone. We will be starting in just after 5 minutes. By that time, if anybody has anything to ask, you can ask. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Before starting our normal discussion, anybody has anything specifically to ask, you can chat in the chat box. You can ask your query in the chat box. Good morning. Good morning. We will start in 2-3 minutes. By that time, if anybody has anything to ask, please chat in the chat box. Anybody can do part 1 earlier, part 2 earlier. The syllabus is totally different. Since there is no correlation in the syllabus, so there is no rule that a student has to give part 1 earlier. Then only they can give part 2, nothing like that. Normally, if you do your research just after the class session, you will find that in part 2, the results are better than part 1. The reason, according to me, slightly the part 2 syllabus is lesser as compared to part 1. And I have seen that since generally the CMA US course done by so many professionals, those who are working. So for a working professional, part 2 becomes slightly easier than part 1. And by the way, we need to complete both part 1, part 2, then only we will be getting the IMA membership. So कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. I have taught so many students, those who completed part 2 earlier, then they did part 1. And there are many students who completed part 1 earlier and then they completed part 2. So there is no institute requirement or guidelines that you have to complete part 1 first, then part 2. Because there is no correlation between the syllabus. Both part 1, part 2 have a different syllabus. So anybody can give part 1 or part 2 earlier the way they like. Just last 2 minutes, then I will start. Before that, if anybody has anything to ask. Actually, according to me, if the student will think that theory subjects, then it is not good. Because as per my knowledge and experience, we don't say theory or numerical. We say concepts. If your concepts are clear, you will be easily able to pass CMA US. And if your concepts are not clear, you can't pass whether it's a theory or whether it's a numerical. If you say in part 2, I will say pure theoretical part from your side, not from my side. Each part D and part F. In part D and part F, there is no numericals. Similarly, in part 1, part E and part F, there is no numericals, pure theory part. And in both the parts, there are 6 areas, 6 subject parts. So you can see that in part 1, part 2, out of 6 subject areas, 4 subjects are theoretical. If I will answer your question. But according to my understanding, it's not a question of theory or numericals. It's a question of understanding. If we study something with conceptual understanding, we can manage. Exams will be computer-based, sir. All international courses from US, CFA, CPA, CMA US, FRM, from UK, ACCA, CIMA, all the courses are computer-based exams. There is no pen and paper-based exams for last approximately more than 10 years. All are computer-based exams. You need to type, you need to write, you need to read on computer screen your answer during the exam. No international courses exams are pen and paper-based. Not now, since approximately 10 years. I think let's start now. So what is the purpose of this session? Since last 6 months, whenever I am taking a first class of any subject or any course, then I have taken an initiative that I will be online live for whole world. Yes, I am telling everything, Suris. I am telling everything, Muhammad Saifuddin, where you can give exam and all. So what I was telling that since last 6 months, whenever I am taking a first class for any subject or any course, then I am taking it YouTube live. So that whether the student is registered with us or not, they will be able to attend the class live. The reason is two. There are two reasons. One reason is there are many who are not financially sound or maybe financially sound, but they want to study self-study. And believe me, there is nothing in the world which you can't do self-study. Any course, not only in commerce, not only CMA, CMA, ACC, doctor, engineering, everything self-study can be done. I'm just a very supporter of self-study. Just that in case of self-study, you need to study slightly more. Because which book to refer, from where to study, you will do your research, so it will take some extra time. And in the self-study, maybe that, what do you say? Systematic process may not be there. Because in a training provider like me or anybody, there is a system. We are going to complete the syllabus like that. And we need to follow the system on our own. Maybe we are lethargic. We are not completing in the due course of time. So extra time may be required with self-study and extra research need to be done. But anything can be studied on self-paced basis. So there are students who want to study on self. They don't want to take classes, training classes from anybody. For them, we have a responsibility to help them. So you can find on my YouTube channel for part 1, part 2, there are more than 100 videos. Each video is around 3 hours. I'm not saying they are covering part 1, part 2, all the syllabus, but that is covering a good amount of syllabus of part 1, part 2. मोटा मोटी आप मान लीजिए around 15 to 20% of part 1, part 2 syllabus can be covered with my YouTube videos. So that help you will be getting, and then this is the first class. At the same time, there are many who wants to join the classes. They are confused where to join. Who will be able to help them in much better way, because according to me, all are secondary. What will be the cost of the course and all that, all these are secondary questions. The primary question, whenever you are going for any training, where you will be joining the classes. If you have in your mind that I should be joining for CMA, US, this, that, at that place, I think that is the most important decision you need to take. So in that decisions, if I can help you with this session, I'm not saying that you should be joining here only since you are doing this free session. That you need to take your call. How you will be able to decide this, that I will be able to guide you, I will be able to help you. Because I need to explain this, assuming that I am in your shoes. I am wearing your shoes and I am at your place, and how I will be able to decide where I should be joining for the training, if I want to join the training classes. So for that reason, I am giving the first class free. You can see that a student can analyze the way I am teaching, the way I am explaining the concepts, whether you are liking or not. And the student can, when they have not yet joined, they can check at other tuition providers by looking at their demo videos, not hearing anything. By looking at their demo videos, doing a comparative analysis, understanding who is teaching properly, and you are liking the way of teaching, there you should be joining. So you can see that for you need to analyze, for you need to understand whether we can help you with our training classes or not. So both the purpose I need to fill up. For that reason, this is basically for September, October 2024, we are going to start. Now for coming 1.5 hours, you can see that there are different questions in our mind, because up till now, whatever questions asked by Suresh, Rahul, Saifuddin, I anyhow need to answer those questions, because if I am not explaining those things in the class, then there is no point in starting the syllabus. Ki bhaiya IME registration, how it will be done? What is the process of registering with the IME? What is the syllabus content of IME? When the exams are held, what is the passing criteria? How they are asking questions in the exams? Since there is a change in the syllabus from September 24 exams, because up till May, June, there was old syllabus. Then in the new syllabus, what are the different things which has been incorporated? It's not a major change, but whatever is there. How I will be able to study, whether self or with the tuition provider? What is the effective way of studying? How much time I need to study? From where I will be solving the questions? From where I can practice the questions to pass the exams? First of all, I am discussing these things. At the same time, if I am a student, like suppose somebody said that, sir, I am still a student, I am doing full-time BCom or Masters. If you are undergraduate, doing BCom or BBA first, second year, if you have completed BCom graduation, BBA graduation done, and you are doing Masters full-time. Full-time means you can't work. Maybe full-time means you are going for the college in Masters for 6 to 7 hours in a day. When we say full-time, then you are coming as a student. You are treated as a student by ACC, by CMA Institute. And when you are not doing full-time BCom or MCom, or your BCom completed, you are not doing MCom, your Masters completed already, then you will be treated as a professional. For student category, there is a scholarship scheme by the IMA. A student can try their luck. What is the nitty-gritties? How can we apply for the scholarship? That also need to be communicated. Somebody will say that, sir, I am already your student, or sir, I have already joined and all that. Bhai, we are doing this session not for you. We are doing for everyone. So for that reason, thoda sa dhyan rakhna hoega. 1.5 hours, I am discussing all these things. So that like Rahul, like Suresh, like Mohammed Saifuddin or anybody, whatever you are asking, you are crystal clear in your mind. कि भाई ये सब चीज मेरा क्लियर हो गया, now I need to study. अब मेरे को पढ़ाई करना है. I have understood everything, whatever the general requirements are there. Now for IME registration. Good morning, good morning. For IME registration, we need to go on IMA website. IMA के वेबसाइट पे आप जाओगे और वहां पर आपको रजिस्ट्रेशन करना है. For any course, you need to go on the institute website. IMAnet.org is the website of the institute. आप इस वेबसाइट पे जाओगे and you will register yourself on the institute website. The different types of courses which they offer. CMA, student academics. You can go in CMA. Students, you can read something and you can register yourself by going in the CMA program. Register करने के लिए आपको वेबसाइट पे जाना है. Whether you are taking classes from me, if you are doing, I mean to say, you are doing self-study or you are doing study through a learning partner like us or anybody, आपको इंस्टीट्यूट की वेबसाइट पे जाके रजिस्टर करना है। Enroll in the CMA program, register for the exam, plan to complete the certificate requirements, work experience and get the CMA। अगर आपको इनरोल करना है तो आप उनकी वेबसाइट पे जाइए, सीएमए प्रोग्राम का जो इनरोलमेंट रजिस्ट्रेशन फॉर्म है उस पे अपना आईडी और पासवर्ड क्रिएट करिए। इफ यू हैव ऑलरेडी क्रिएटेड अर्लियर यू यूज दैट, इफ यू हैव नॉट क्रिएटेड अर्लियर देन इन दैट केस यू क्रिएट अ न्यू आईडी पासवर्ड। आप न्यू रजिस्ट्रेशन फॉरगेट है, चेंज यूजर नेम, रजिस्टर नाउ। अगर आप नए हैं तो इन दैट केस आपको नया रजिस्ट्रेशन करना है। When you register here on the institute website, at the time of initial registration, they are not asking whether you are a student, whether you are a professional. They will be asking your basic details, your name, age, address, email ID, and all that, and you will register yourself. I'm not going further into this because they will be asking different types of questions, which I don't know about each individual. I know about myself, so I can fill up that, but there is no point. सो रजिस्ट्रेशन के लिए आपको आईएमए की वेबसाइट पे जाना है और रजिस्टर करना है। नाउ when we are on the IMA website and we want to register, then before enrollment, the first thing we need to know what will be the cost of doing the CMA US course, है ना? What are the number of exams? When the exams will be held? What is the syllabus content? Whether I will be able to manage the syllabus with my competency, with self-study or the training providers or not. ये सब तो सबसे पहले देखना पड़ेगा ना, then only you can proceed, है ना? तो सबसे पहले वही चीज देखते हैं कि what is the cost of the course, कि cost of the course क्या है, कितना खर्चा लगेगा। As per the IMA website, what they are saying about the cost of the course. So I am going into cost of the course. So in the CMA we are going, in CMA just 1 second. So CMA cost. Yeah. You can see the CMA program fees. For student and academician, they are saying entrance fees is $225. Exam fees is $370 per part. And then IMA membership fees is $49 and $160. For professionals, it is entrance fees in place of $225 is $300. Exam fees in place of $370, it is $495 per part. And then IMA membership fees in place of this, it is $295. For professionals, the fees is higher. And for academician, the fees is lower. Whether you are doing self-study or whether you are doing study through a learning partner like us, this is the amount payable by the student to the CMA Institute. I am using the word student for professionals and student both. I said student, and who are the student? Just one second. Just one second. Okay. So who are the students? Those who are doing BCom full-time or masters full-time. Full-time means you are going in a college, you can say for 6 to 7 hours every day. When you are a full-time BCom graduate or postgraduate student, then you are coming in the student category. But if you are not doing, you have completed BCom, not doing masters or BCom masters, you are not doing full-time, then you are coming in the professional category. This is the fees as per the institute website. I have taken that fees only from there only. You can see that. Just need to slightly increase. This is the fees as per the IMA website for membership. Rahul ji, just wait. Don't go fast, sir. There is nothing we will be able to achieve by doing fast. Just have patience. So I mean to say that for a professional, this is the cost, and that cost includes 18% GST also. Whatever is the fees plus 18%. Whatever is the exam fees plus 18%. For a professional, the total fees is coming basically $1,600 plus 18%. Whenever you all are inquiring anywhere in the world, like we are receiving inquiries from the students, sir, total kharcha kya padega? The first thing is that student or professionals are not interested in knowing what is the breakup of the cost. Then only you can compare where your cost will be lower. If you don't know the entire breakup, then how you will come to know where the cost is lower? Because if I will say that the total cost is $1,600, then I'm not saying GST. Not clear, sir. Let me increase this, delete. One second, sir. Yes. Now it's clear, I think. So first of all, whether you join here, whether you join somewhere else, bhai ye IMA ka fees hai. For professionals. Professional means those who are not doing full-time BCom, MCom. Those who are not doing full-time masters or graduation. They have done or they are not doing whatever. Professionals. This is the fees payable by the student to the institute. Through the learning partner like us, or there are many in India, normally on this fees we get the discount. The criteria for getting the discount is you need to register through a learning partner of CMA US Institute. And the second, you need to buy a certified material. The certified material is, there are 6 companies certified on the IMA website. All are US companies. Wiley, Hawk, Glenn, Roser, and there are Becker and one more. You need to have a certified material of any of the 6 companies for studying CMA US, and at the same time you register through a learning partner. Then presently, this is the discount which are possible through Saraf Academy to professionals. We have registered all the students with us in the month of June at this discounted fees. So after, in the membership and entrance fees with after discount, this is coming. And in the part 1 and part 2 exam fees after a discount, this is coming. You may be knowing that IMA regularly introduce discount scheme on their website in social media, but that discount is only here, only in the membership and entrance fees also. That discount is never there in the exam fees. And on a standalone basis, exam fees is very high figure. The discount here is mattering more, concerned more as compared to here. And in the social media, when they introduce 2-3 times discount as a common, then in that case, they are offering 40 to 45% discount. Many students go for that and then later on they curse because they are not getting discount on the exam fees. So with Saraf Academy, this is the discount. Presently, they have communicated to us. This discount, after a discount, the dollar amount payable by the student to the institute, I have multiplied this dollar amount including 18% GST at the rate of 83. Maybe when you make the payment to the institute, it will be at the rate of 84. INR 83 into dollar amount, I have done the calculation. So total, that is entrance fees, membership fees, exam fees, both part 1, part 2 exam fees, it will be coming in Indian currency, including GST, around 1,06,000. You can take 1.1,05,000 to 1,08,000, depending upon dollar value. This money the student need to pay, the professional need to pay in 3 parts. First, you will register, they said now on the website, enroll. So when you enroll, you need to pay the membership fee and the entrance fees. Then suppose you are going to give exam in October. So while giving exam, you will pay exam fees $396 plus 18% GST. And when you give exam, say for another part in the month of Jan, Feb, So you will give the exam fees of another part in the January, February. मतलब ये पूरे पैसे 3 बार में जाएंगे. Membership and entrance fees initially, then the part 1 or part 2 exam fees, and then the next part exam fees. 3 months, 3 months, 3 months approximately. ये पैसा पूरा आपका जाने वाला है. Total cost will be going to the IMA in around 8 to 12 months. The way you will progress. Suppose today you register with IMA through Saraf Academy or on your own, whatever. You paid the membership fees and entrance fees today because you have to pay both the things. Today is 29th of June. So your entrance fees and membership fee will remain valid for 1 year till 29th June 2025. If by 1 year you are not completing part 1, part 2 both, then after 1 year you need to pay the membership fee again, which is $147.5 again. But next time when you pay the membership, generally you will not get discount. So next time you need to pay $295 only. They will not give you discount whether you are studying from a learning partner then also. The chances are very less. If you are not completing the entire curriculum, entire course in 1 year, then they will charge the membership fee every year. After 1 year again, after second year again, after third year again. And if you are not completing the course even in 3 years, then they will charge entrance fee again. It's not that you can't complete the course in 5, 6, 7 years. You can. But आपको membership तो हर साल देना पड़ेगा जब तक आप कोर्स नहीं करोगे. और एंट्रेंस फी 3 साल के बाद फिर से देना पड़ेगा. And there is one more problem in 3-year story. Suppose I have given exam for part 1 in the year 2024. And by next 3 years, I have not been able to complete part 2 because of any reason. मेरा part 1 गया. 3 साल बाद मेरे को part 1 भी फिर से exam देना पड़ेगा. I need to complete part 1, part 2 within 3 years so that I don't need to pay entrance fees again. And if I don't want to pay membership fee again, then I need to complete my part 1, part 2 within 1 year. Within 1 year. So I always say that I have experience teaching CMA US for around 12 plus years, precisely. I have not seen that. Very few students who completed CMA US taking more than 1 year. If somebody is taking more than 1 year, he will never complete. It's a course which need to be completed in 1 year. By how much study, I will see. Now here I have added the hawk material cost because you will not be getting this discount. The 50%, 50%, 20%, 20%, all will be coming. If you take the dollar plus 18% into 83, all will be coming around 60 to 70,000 INR. For that, you need to buy hawk material then or any other material. Then only you will be getting this 60 to 70,000 money INR ka discount. It's not that you need to buy the material through Saraf Academy. This is from Saraf Academy. If you buy, then there is a fees of around 20,000 payable by you to the hawk. But if you buy hawk online and the cost is lesser, you buy some other material, the cost is less, doesn't matter. बस आपके पास certified material अपने नाम में खरीदा हुआ होना चाहिए. And then my training classes fees is 66,999 for part 1, part 2. I teach around 220 to 240 hours for part 1, part 2. Live class supported by recordings. So the student cost is coming 1,93,704. Wherever you are inquiring for the CMA US, the cost includes all these components. कोई भी component उसमें गायब नहीं होएगा. Now the total cost at some other place, if they are not adding GST, like some student inquired me, sir मैंने यहाँ पूछा था वो लोग GST बताए नहीं. Now they are saying GST need to be paid. आपको पहले ध्यान देना था ना, हम GST जोड़कर लिख रहे हैं. बस इतना ही डिफरेंस हो सकता है. 1,06,706 maybe 1,07,000 because of the dollar rate. So ये 193 को you can take 190 to 1,95,000. उससे ऊपर नहीं जाएगा. And this total is payable in a span of 1 year because the duration of the course is 1 year. We are going to complete the course in 1 year. हमारा purpose यही है ना. If we are falling in the student category, student मतलब we are doing full time BCom graduation और full time masters, तो उन लोगों के लिए इंस्टीट्यूट का फीस लोअर है. On that also there is a discount. On the exam fees they are getting more discount. On the exam fees they are getting more discount. So their total cost in Indian currency is coming 65,327 through Saraf Academy, including GST. Assuming $1 is at the rate of 83 rupees. And then other two component, that is the study material charges and the training fees charges are same. So you can say that for a student, the total cost will be coming around 40,000 lower. Now, many times student says that, sir, I am graduate. I will join MCom masters so that I will become a student. कर लो भाई, ठीक है. But problem क्या होएगा when you will be asking for membership after passing the exam? They will be asking the detail of the completion of your masters. कहां से दोगे? खाली ज्वाइन करने से नहीं होएगा. You need to complete your masters to get this. So dance करके फायदा नहीं. There is no visa, there is no passport required, nothing. वो भी मैं बोलूंगा. No passport, no visa, nothing is required. Just हाथ जोड़कर विनती है कि understand the cost components fully so that you don't disturb me, my team members or anybody, any tuition provider. भैया ये कॉस्ट कंपोनेंट है. आपको अगर सेल्फ स्टडी करना है तो ये दोनों में ये जो मेंबरशिप एंट्रेंस है कुछ 40% डिस्काउंट मिल जाएगा जब आता है. नॉट एवरी टाइम, जब आता है. एग्जाम फीस में डिस्काउंट नहीं मिलेगा. मटेरियल आपको अपने आप खरीदना है. ट्रेनिंग क्लासेस का फीस आपका नहीं लगेगा. सो नॉर्मली अगर आप ध्यान दोगे, मैं ये समझाता हूं विच आई एम एक्सप्लेनिंग टू यू, नॉट फॉर मी, एनी लर्निंग प्रोवाइडर. आपका यहां पर there will be a cost of around 20 to 25,000 extra. There will be a cost of around here, I will say approximately 10,000 extra. तो आपका 30 to 35,000 self study से भी पैसे extra लगने. So you can see that when you are joining, suppose my training, the additional cost is coming around 20 to 25,000 more. And you understand the exam fees is already for student each 20,000 approx. Considering you are going through a learning partner, if you are doing on your own, then the exam fees, there is no discount. It will be coming around 25,000. For professionals, the exam fees will be coming around 40,000 plus. So I'm not suggesting that you need to join a training provider, but exam fees is very high. So you need to be very crystal clear कि मेरे को exam में pass ही होना है. Not a question of money. It's a question of, what do you say, motivation, attitude also. कि एग्जाम देना है तो पास ही होना है. On a standalone basis, somebody will say that, sir, the course cost is very high. I don't understand. If suppose you are doing in India CA, आप CA कर रहे हो, CA इंस्टीट्यूट का फाउंडेशन, इंटरमीडिएट, फाइनल सब मिला के कॉस्ट आता है अराउंड 80,000 to 1 लाख. अभी थोड़ा बढ़ गया होगा, 1 लाख हो गया. पहले 2-4 साल पहले 80,000 करीब आता था. उसके बाद आप अगर ट्रेनिंग क्लासेस लोगे तो ट्रेनिंग क्लासेस हर एक सब्जेक्ट विल कॉस्ट यू अप्रोक्सीमेटली 10,000 अप्रोक्स. अराउंड 20 सब्जेक्ट्स होते हैं 2 लाख, यानी कि योर कॉस्ट विल बी कमिंग अराउंड 2.8 to 3 लाख. एंड दैट टू आल्सो यू आर क्लियरिंग इन वन गो. आप एक बार में सीए का एग्जाम देकर कंप्लीट कर रहे हैं. तो कोई भी इंडियन कोर्स अगर आप प्रोफेशनल कोर्स करते हो, द कॉस्ट इज बिटवीन 2.5 to 3 लाख इफ यू आर गोइंग विद द ट्रेनिंग क्लासेस. If you are going for the self-study, it will be costing you around 1.2 lakh, including the study material and all that which you need to purchase. यहां पर भी वैसा ही है सर. और यहां पर since इतने सारे 20 एग्जाम नहीं है, so you can say that the training classes fees as compared to Indian courses are lesser. So if standalone अगर दिमाग थोड़ा सा भी लगाते हैं, थोड़ा सा भी ब्रेन अगर यूज करते हैं, if we use our brain, I don't find any professional course in the world where the cost is lower than CMA US. I'm teaching ACCA, CIMA, CPA, so many things. The cost for all the courses are higher than this, or any Indian course also. तो आपको ये समझना है कि कोर्स कॉस्टली क्यों है, कैसे लग रहा है आपको कॉस्टली, जब टोटल कॉस्ट कोई भी दूसरे कोर्स से कम है, हाउ कैन यू से दैट इट्स अ कॉस्टली कोर्स? बगैर जाने कुछ भी बोलेंगे बात अलग, बट इफ यू गो लॉजिकली इट्स नॉट अ कॉस्टली कोर्स. डोंट कंपेयर दिस विथ any certificate you are getting by doing any online training. It's not a certification course, it's a degree. It's a global 180 countries recognized course. आप इसको वैसे कोई कंपेयर मत करिए, ठीक है? दिस इज द कॉस्ट स्ट्रक्चर. थ्रू सराफ एकेडमी दिस विल बी योर कॉस्ट. थ्रू अदर लर्निंग प्रोवाइडर मे बी द ट्रेनिंग क्लासेस फीस और मटेरियल फीस इज डिफरेंट. Some of them are offering here a discount is around 30 to 40%. Some of the training providers are asking you to make the payment which is payable to the institute. Money to the IMA, they are asking you pay to them, they will pay to the IMA. There are possibilities there. तो यहां पर थोड़ा सा डिस्काउंट वगैरह अलग हो जाता है, लेकिन आप कहीं भी पता लगा रहे हैं, ये सारा खर्चा जोड़िए ना यार. Why don't you add up so that you can do a comparative analysis where the cost is lower? The first thing, my advice, you focus on the cost, and where the cost is lower, you should be thinking to joining there. Obviously, that's the logical thing. कि जहां पैसे कम लगेंगे हम वहीं ज्वाइन करेंगे, सिंपल बात है. Then comes, according to me, as I said, the cost के बाद आता है आप अदर फैक्टर्स एनालाइज करोगे. क्लासेस कौन ले रहा है, उसका डेमो वीडियो क्या है, कैसे पढ़ा रहे हैं, चीजों को एक्सप्लेन अच्छे से कर रहे हैं कि नहीं. यू आस्क मॉक टेस्ट आप लेते हैं क्या? देयर आर मेनी स्टूडेंट्स. मैं बोलूंगा आई एम टेकिंग मॉक टेस्ट, यू विल रियलाई ऑन मी. व्हाई यू शुड नॉट रिलाई ऑन मी? आई थिंक मॉक टेस्ट लेते हैं कि नहीं आपको रिलाई नहीं करना चाहिए. यू शुड नॉट. जस्ट बाय सेइंग अ सेल्समैन दैट वी आर टेकिंग मॉक टेस्ट, यू विल एक्सेप्ट. दुनिया में एजुकेशन को सब बहुत खराब बना दिए यार. प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड, यू नीड टू बी स्केप्टिकल. आप उसका डेमो वीडियो देखिए ना कि मॉक टेस्ट कराया जा रहा है कि नहीं. आप मेरा डेमो वीडियो देखिए इन माय पार्ट 1 पार्ट 2 यूट्यूब चैनल, द प्लेलिस्ट. You will be able to see the demo videos for the mock papers, whether I am solving the mock papers or not, whether I am discussing the question. आप जहां भी ज्वाइन करेंगे ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्टर है. मे बी द कॉस्ट समवेयर इज लेस, maybe somewhere it is further higher than me. The question is not that the cost. The question is quality of the classes, which nobody can tell you, which you need to analyze by looking at the videos, by looking at the demo classes. एक डेमो तो आपके सामने लाइव चल रहा है, दूसरा आपको देखना पड़ेगा यूट्यूब में जाके प्लेलिस्ट में. कहीं भी ज्वाइन करे डेमो देखे बगैर, अपना कॉम्पिटेंस एनालाइज करे बगैर ज्वाइन नहीं करेंगे. ये मेरा एडवाइस है. Don't go in wrong hands, because nowadays not only in CMA, any type of education, they are thinking, the education providers are thinking it's a product selling. It's just selling a product. I mean to say, we should not be playing with your life. You are giving your hard-earned money. You have a certain dreams. You have a certain projection from the faculty, from the organization. And if you are not fulfilling that, we don't deserve to teach you, we don't deserve to help you, and we are very bad person. सबसे पहला बात है कि आपको अच्छे से पढ़ाया जाए. So that you need to analyze. Nobody can tell you sir. कोई भी यहां पर आप फोन लगाते हैं, सेल्समैन है, सेल्समैन का काम सेल करना है. They are just concerned that the students should be giving money. You are knowledgeable, आपको बुद्धि है, आप उसका डेमो वीडियो देखिए, एनालाइज करिए, तभी आप आगे बढ़िए. That's my advice. Rest is your choice, sir. ठीक है? Now, one more thing. स्कॉलरशिप. स्कॉलरशिप के बारे में बहुत फोन वगैरह आता है, और स्कॉलरशिप के बारे में ध्यान देना भी चाहिए भाई. Why we should not be thinking about scholarship? CMA हैंडबुक. इधर एक टाइप कर देते हैं. I don't want to download. CMA scholarship. CMA scholarship. For CMA scholarship, डाउनलोड द नॉमिनेशन फॉर्म. ठीक है, मैं एक बार डाउनलोड कर रहा हूं. सो दिस इज द CMA स्कॉलरशिप नॉमिनेशन फॉर्म. मैं इसमें पूरा का पूरा रीडिंग नहीं कर रहा भाई. आप जब ये फॉर्म डाउनलोड करेंगे, बहुत ज्यादा बड़ा नहीं, आपको इसके अंदर सारी चीजें फिलअप करनी. दिस इज एप्लीकेबल फॉर स्टूडेंट कैटेगरी, नॉट फॉर प्रोफेशनल्स. स्टूडेंट मीन्स फुल टाइम मास्टर्स और ग्रेजुएशन जो लोग कर रहे हैं. एलिजिबिलिटी वगैरह लिखा हुआ है. आपको अपना फॉर्म भरना है. फॉर्म भरने के बाद आप देखिए यहां क्या लिखा हो. एक्नॉलेजमेंट ऑफ स्कॉलरशिप. सपोज यू आर फ्रॉम कोलकाता एंड यू आर स्टडिंग इन भवानीपुर कॉलेज. तो आप यहां पर भवानीपुर कॉलेज, भवानीपुर एजुकेशन सोसाइटी लिखेंगे, एड्रेस लिखेंगे, भवानीपुर का वेबसाइट लिखेंगे, नंबर ऑफ स्टूडेंट इंक्लूडेड ऑन फॉर्म ओनली 1. I hereby nominate the student below for the scholarship. कौन नॉमिनेट कर रहा है? जो भवानीपुर कॉलेज में फैकल्टी या प्रोफेसर है. मैं नहीं कर सकता. आई एम नॉट अ भवानीपुर कॉलेज फैकल्टी, आई एम सराफ एकेडमी फैकल्टी. जो कॉलेज में आप ग्रेजुएशन या मास्टर्स कर रहे हैं यूनिवर्सिटी में, उस कॉलेज का जो डीन है, उस कॉलेज का जो प्रोफेसर है, पार्ट टाइम प्रोफेसर नहीं, जो फुल टाइम वहां पर पेरोल में है, वहां पर वो प्रोफेसर अपना नाम लिखेगा, डेजिग्नेशन लिखेगा, वो अपना फैकल्टी नाम लिखेगा, अपना टेलीफोन नंबर लिखेगा, वो यहां पर फिलअप करेगा और फिर आप अपना डिटेल फिलअप करेंगे. जब आप ये मेल डिटेल फिलअप कर लेंगे, दिस इज ऑनलाइन फिलअप. आप यहां पर ऑनलाइन फिलअप कर सकते हैं, प्रिंट आउट नहीं निकालना. यू डोंट नीड टू टेक प्रिंट आउट है. जब आप इसको फिलअप कर देंगे, आप इसको IMA को मेल डालेंगे. मेल कहां करना है, यहां लिखा होगा. क्लिक हियर हाउ टू क्रिएट एन अकाउंट. पहले अकाउंट क्रिएट करेंगे, उसके बाद IMA को मेल डालेंगे. यू विल गिव मेल टू द IMA आफ्टर फिलिंग दिस फॉर्म. और मेल साथ साथ आप CC किसको करेंगे? जो कॉलेज का प्रोफेसर है, जिसने आपको अपना मेल ID वगैरह दिया है, उसको भी आप CC में रखेंगे, जिससे कि द कॉलेज प्रोफेसर नोज दैट you have applied for IMA scholarship through that professor. The institute will take around 6 to, you can say, 8 weeks to reply you कि whether you are eligible for scholarship or not. अगर इंस्टीट्यूट से रिप्लाई नहीं आएगा, आपको फिर से मेल डालना होगा, कोई ऑप्शन नहीं. You need to give them mail again. Nobody, neither me or any training provider can't do anything in this. आपको उनको मेल डालना है, मेल में रिप्लाई आएगा कि आपको स्कॉलरशिप मिलेगा कि नहीं. अगर मिलेगा तो क्या फायदा होगा. Whatever amount payable to IMA as a student, the entrance fees, membership fees, part 1, part 2 exam fees, all gone. कुछ पैसा नहीं लगेगा. Even the certified material charges or anything, that also is gone. You will get the certified material free. आपको फ्री मिलेगा. खाली आपका अगर ट्रेनिंग करना है तो ट्रेनिंग क्लासेस का पैसा लगेगा. All other things becomes free. It's a very good benefit. But from a college, from a particular university, they have written in the rules, guidelines, they will never offer a scholarship to more than 5 students. At the same time, whether they will offer 5 student scholarship or not, there is no confirmation. उनका मर्जी, वो किसी को भी नहीं देंगे. उनका मर्जी, वो 2 जन को ही देंगे. Normally, since the current year started, since I will say that in 24-25, they have specifically mailed us and communicated us कि now the scholarship will be very less. मैं ये demotivate नहीं कर रहा, I am saying facts. I cannot show the mail because it is unethical. They are saying that we will not be offering so much scholarships from now going onwards. बहुत ज्यादा scholarship देंगे नहीं. तो I have seen that there are so many students who are applying for scholarships. They are generally not getting any scholarships, but फिर भी उनका है प्रोविजन, स्कॉलरशिप वो दे सकते हैं, आप ट्राई कर सकते हैं. आफ्टर अप्लाइंग फॉर स्कॉलरशिप यू कैन स्टार्ट योर स्टडी. इफ यू गेट वेरी वेल, इफ यू डोंट गेट देन यू नीड टू पे टू द इंस्टीट्यूट. इसमें मेरा कोई कंट्रीब्यूशन नहीं है कि आई कैन डू समथिंग फॉर यू टू गेट द स्कॉलरशिप. They have categorically said as the learning partner, the faculties, those who are teaching to the students, they cannot request or anything. They cannot say to the institute that इस student को scholarship मिलना चाहिए and all that. I don't have any saying in that. मेरे पास कुछ है नहीं. फॉर्म आपको भरना है, यूनिवर्सिटी के फैकल्टी को आपको रेडी करना है, आपको डिटेल देना है, आपको मेल डालना है और आपको फैकल्टी को साथ में रखना है. बिकॉज व्हेन यू विल बी अवॉर्डेड स्कॉलरशिप, they will mail to the professor. The professor name which is written, they will mail to the professor. The professor need to reply for their mail. And at the same time, they will be telling you that you are eligible for scholarships and all that. मेरा इसमें कोई contribution नहीं है. I am not a bad person. I am not saying that आपको scholarship मिलेगा कि नहीं. But what is the process to get the scholarship? That I am explaining. Because a student go on asking, sir, can you help me, sir? What will happen to this, sir? What I will write here and all that, sir? I don't know, sir. If you are having problem in this, you mail to the institute in filling any details. आप वो institute को mail करिए, वो लोग बताएंगे सर. आप मेरे हाथ में कोई राइट दिया नहीं गया है कुछ भी कि मैं आपको स्कॉलरशिप दिलवा सकूं. और अगर somebody is not a student, is a professional, not doing full time BCom, MCom, and they filled the form and they got the scholarship, they should not be. उनसे बाद में वो लोग पैसा वापस मांग सकते हैं. I saw somewhere in the social media somebody was saying that I got the scholarship even though I am not in a student category. First of all, how he got that? Because I asked the Indian team, they said that it's impossible, sir. Sir, वो झूठ बोल रहे हैं. और अगर बाई चांस भूल के मिल भी गया, they are saying we will charge the money again. So for professionals there is no scholarships. It is only for student category. Those who are doing full time study, they are not earning anything. For them, the scholarship scheme is there. Otherwise, there is no scholarship scheme, man. Okay? Now comes the exam structure. Whether it's a part 1 or part 2, any exam. The exam structure. The exam structure is 4 hours exam. Part 1 exam 4 hour, part 2 exam 4 hour. In that 4 hour, 3 hours will be for multiple choice questions and 1 hour for the essay type questions. Multiple choice question, 1 question and then 4 answers. Out of 4 answers, 1 is correct. You just need to select the correct option. 100 MCQs in 3 hours. And then after 3 hours, next 1 hour, there will be essay type question. There will be 2 essay type question. They will be giving 1 scenario of 2-3 paragraphs. And based on that, they will be asking 4-5 questions. Again, another scenario of 2-3 paragraphs. And then they will be asking 4-5 questions. So 2 scenario based 4-5 questions each. Those essay type question involve theory, involve calculations also. Calculation you need to do there on the, what do you say? On the Excel, they will be giving you the row, columns and all that. Or maybe you can do the calculation on a Word file you need to type. And the theory you will be typing on the Word file, on the screen only. जो भी आपको typing करना है, on screen करना है, in the essay type workings and all that need to be shown. But in the MCQ, they are just concerned with the correct answer. Maybe 𝐂𝐻𝐴𝐷, maybe Allah, doesn't matter. If your answer is right, you will get the marks. Normally, a student, and if I will ask anybody in the class, a student think that कि multiple choice question exam pattern is easier than essay type. ऐसा 90% स्टूडेंट लोगों को लगता है, लेकिन होता उल्टा है. मल्टीपल चॉइस क्वेश्चन एग्जाम इज डिफिकल्ट इन द वर्ल्ड, नॉट ओनली CMA, एनी एग्जाम. ऐसे टाइप क्वेश्चंस आर इजियर. व्हाई? बिकॉज इन द ऐसे टाइप यू विल बी गेटिंग पार्ट मार्किंग. इवन दो यू आर नॉट 100% करेक्ट, but you will get part marks. But in multiple choice, no part marking. In multiple choice, there is no negative marking in CMA, but there is no part mark. Right means full marks and wrong means 0. You will think that कोई भी 4 में से एक आंसर सही लगा लेंगे. By that you can score 25% marks. Suppose 100 questions are there, and I am giving CMA US exam for part 1 or part 2 without a proper study or any study. Still, out of 100 question, I will be able to do 25 correct. 25 to 30 correct हो जाए. बोले कैसे? Because when one question 4 answer are there, out of 4 anyone is correct. Out of 4 anyone's selection probability is 25%. So when you are giving exam without a proper study or with no study, then also in exam student can score 25-30% marks in the multiple choice questions. So that way it is easy. So if suppose in CMA US the passing criteria it say you need to score 40%, then it's easy. Then the multiple choice becomes easy. But in CMA, what is the passing criteria? 72% marks you need to score to pass the exam. And that is not possible just by do 𝐂𝐻-𝐷 or multiple choice 25-30% correct. Not possible. The total part 1, part 2 is 500 marks each. And in 500 marks, a student need to score 360 to pass the exam. Anybody in the chat, can you say, do you know what is the average passing percentage in part 1, part 2 exams in CMA US? I will wait for the chat. Please. What is the passing percentage in different terms in CMA US? Passing percentage means if 100 students are giving exams, then how many students are passing on an average in part 1, part 2 exams in IMA, in CMA US exams? Please chat in the chat box. I want a reply from everybody. Because आप अगर लाइव क्लास में हैं तो आप कुछ ना कुछ तो थोड़ा बहुत तो रिसर्च किए होंगे भाई. What is the average passing percentage of CMA US exams on an average all over the world in part 1, part 2? 60 to 70%. आप कहां से बोल रहे हैं सुरेश जी? आपको ये पता कहां से चला? Others also. Please, it's a request. Mohammed Saifuddin, 25%. What a different. Suresh Patel is saying 70%. And Saifuddin is saying 25%. Others. Now Saifuddin is saying 40%. We are talking about average pass percentage, sir. We are not talking about exact pass percentage every term because that's not possible. Normally, the pass percentage on an average is around 40 to 50%. 25% बहुत कम और 70 कभी हुआ नहीं है सुरेश जी. Never the pass percentage is 60-70% in part 1, part 2 in IMA history. I will say around 40 to 50%. आप वेबसाइट पे चेक कर सकते हैं. मैं नहीं जा रहा वापिस. From wherever you are, sir, there is no problem. I am talking about whole world pass rate. I'm not talking about Bangalore. I'm talking about whole world pass rate on an average. और बैंगलोर में भी 60-70 नहीं है. कोई एक बार हो गया होगा, बात अलग है. सर ऐसा नहीं है सर. Now, on a standalone basis, this 40 to 50% pass rate is a good percentage. Because if we compare Indian CA, Indian CMA, then the pass percentage is around 10 to 15, 10 to 20%. But यहाँ उससे बहुत ज़्यादा है. On a standalone basis, it looks good. But I've taught so many students in CMA part 1, part 2. I have never seen that any student who don't deserve to pass and who has some problems, who has not studied properly, can't pass CMA US so easily. आपको लगेगा 40-50% pass rate है, but इतना simple नहीं है sir. It's difficult exam to crack. I'm not making you afraid. मैं कोई डर नहीं दिला रहा, but बहुत कुछ है. Syllabus में बहुत है. And you can't pass this exam just by mugging up. आपको concept develop करना ही पड़ेगा. The part 2 percentage on an average is always greater than part 1. In part 2, the percentage is 3, 4, 5%, always greater than part 1. Part 1 का percentage of passing slightly lower than part 2. Yes, sir. That I said, around 40 to 50%. Because sometimes it happens 44, 43% भी हुआ है. So we can see a window of around 40 to 50%. On a standalone, it looks good. But on my experience of 12 years plus teaching of CMA US, it's not easy, man. अगर आपको लगता है सीए का 15-20% पास रेट है और ये 40% है, ये डबल से ज्यादा है, आप गलत सोच रहे हैं सर. ये सीए जैसे ही डिफिकल्ट है सर. आपको कॉन्सेप्ट डेवलप करना होगा, तभी आप एग्जाम पास कर सकते हैं. सिंपल नहीं. देयर आर स्टूडेंट हु आर सीए इंटर पास आउट, सीए इंटर हो गया, सीए फाइनलिस्ट, gave the exam for IMA, CMA US, failed. They are in my inquiry list. They have not taken classes from me. Not that कि मेरे से जो क्लास लेता है सारे लोग पास होते हैं, मैं वैसा नहीं बोल रहा. But one student who gave the exam last term in January, February, he gave the exam second time. He said me in the WhatsApp that he gave the exam. He is already CA inter qualified. Second time he failed. Second time. CA inter pass student is very knowledgeable man. Technically he is perfect. But still he couldn't pass CMA US in 2 terms. Understand? It's not easy, man. It's difficult. जब तक आप कॉन्सेप्ट डेवलप नहीं करेंगे, तब तक आप CMA US पास नहीं कर सकते. याद करके, खाली क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करके नहीं होएगा. I generally say that whether you are taking classes from me, somebody else doing self study, आपको 100 मल्टीपल चॉइस क्वेश्चन का 375 मार्क्स है. Because they are saying 75% MCQ, 25% essay type. So per question 3.75 marks. And the essay type is 125 marks. अगर आपको पास होना है, मेरे हिसाब से, in the essay type out of 100 questions, कम से कम आपको 65 तो राइट करना है. Because 65 into 3.75 will be coming approximately 240. Still, it will be difficult to score in essay type out of 125, 120 marks. तो मोसा मोटी आपको 70% out of 100, 70 questions you need to do correct. And out of 100, doing 70 questions correct can be done by a student who is very, very sound understanding of the entire syllabus. अगर उसका अच्छा अंडरस्टैंडिंग नहीं है, कॉन्सेप्ट डेवलप नहीं, वो पास कर ही नहीं सकता सर. If you are scoring in multiple choice 70% questions correct, you are scoring 260 plus. You can easily score out of 125 in essay type 100 marks. और अगर आपको और श्योरिटी चाहिए पास होने का, तो ये 70 के बदले 75%. So you will be getting around 15-20 marks more. तो हो गया 280 करीब. ऐसे टाइप में जो कांट स्कोर आउट ऑफ 125 लेस देन 80-90, उससे कम नहीं आएगा, कितना भी खराब पढ़ लीजिए. इफ somebody is able to score in multiple choice 75% marks, that student cannot score less than 100 marks in essay type. उसका एक्चुअल मार्क्स आने वाला है 380, 390, 400. उसका 370 से 360 से बहुत ज्यादा आने वाला है. For getting 70% questions correct in the multiple choice, the concept should be crystal clear. अगर आपको चीजें समझ में नहीं आएंगे, आपने ठीक से नहीं पढ़ा है, पॉसिबल नहीं है कि आप ये एग्जाम पास कर पाओगे सर. जो सच बात है वो बोल रहे हैं. मैंने बोला एग्जाम जैन, फेब, मई, जून, सितंबर, अक्टूबर, साल में 6 महीना होता है. हम लोग अभी ये क्लास, इन दिस क्लास वी आर टारगेटिंग सितंबर अक्टूबर 2024 एग्जाम. जो जनवरी में एग्जाम होगा उसका रिजल्ट मार्च में आएगा, जो फरवरी में होगा उसका रिजल्ट अप्रैल में आएगा. सिमिलरली सितंबर अक्टूबर का भी होएगा. रिजल्ट आने का ये स्टोरी है. So those who have given exam in May, June, July, जो मई में एग्जाम दिया उसका जुलाई में रिजल्ट आएगा, जो जून में एग्जाम देगा उसका अगस्त में आएगा. दैट्स द स्टोरी. ठीक है ना? ये उनका रूल है सर. मिड ऑफ मंथ एंड व्हाट डू यू से, normally इफ द एग्जाम्स आर देयर इन इंडिया, तो मेरे को इंडिया में कहीं जाने के लिए पासपोर्ट वीजा चाहिए होता है क्या? इफ आई वॉन्ट टू गो इन बैंगलोर, इफ आई वॉन्ट टू गो इन मुंबई, इफ आई वॉन्ट टू गो एनीवेयर, मेरे को कोई पासपोर्ट वीजा चाहिए क्या? व्हेन यू रिक्वायर पासपोर्ट एंड वीजा व्हेन यू आर गोइंग आउटसाइड द कंट्री, तो आपको एग्जाम तो इंडिया कोई भी कंट्री के बाहर जाके नहीं देना है. सो देयर इज नो पासपोर्ट वीजा एंड ऑल दैट रिक्वायर्ड. You will say, sir, international course degree. When you clear the exams, you will be getting the pass mark sheet certificates from the US in courier. आपको ऑनलाइन भी मिलेगा, आपके घर पे कुरियर आएगा, आपको टेंशन नहीं लेना है सर. आपको कोई वीजा पासपोर्ट कोर्स करने के लिए नहीं चाहिए. वो 10-15 साल पहले होता था, when we are required to give exam, going outside India, दुबई वगैरह जाते थे तब. अभी नहीं होता है सर. कोई वीजा पासपोर्ट नहीं चाहिए. आपको एग्जाम देने के लिए गवर्नमेंट अप्रूव्ड आईडी प्रूफ चाहिए, आधार कार्ड और वट एवर गवर्नमेंट अप्रूव्ड एड्रेस आईडी प्रूफ. इफ यू डोंट हैव, यू कांट गिव एग्जाम. हाउ इट विल बी प्रूव्ड दैट यू आर द पर्सन हु इज द सेम पर्सन हु इज रजिस्टर्ड एंड गिविंग द एग्जाम? तो आपका एड्रेस आईडी प्रूफ चाहिए, लेकिन आपको कोई वीजा पासपोर्ट ये सब की जरूरत नहीं. एग्जाम विल बी हेल्ड इन प्रोमेट्रिक सेंटर्स. In Kolkata, we have only one prometric center. I am talking about Kolkata. From my house, it is around 20 kilometers away, approximately. मेरे को वहीं जाके एग्जाम देना होगा. Wherever in the world prometric centers are there, you will be able to give exam there. If in your city prometric center is not there, then you need to go in other city to give the exam. अब आप बोलेंगे सर मेरे यहाँ एग्जाम होगा कि नहीं? नहीं मालूम है सर. आप गूगल में सर्च करिए प्रोमेट्रिक सेंटर्स आपके यहां पर कहां है. इन द प्रोमेट्रिक सेंटर्स नॉट ओनली CMA, CPA एंड सो मेनी डिफरेंट एग्जाम्स आर हेल्ड. बहुत सारे एग्जाम्स होते हैं. ओनली प्रोमेट्रिक सेंटर्स यू कैन गिव एग्जाम. ड्यूरिंग कोरोना टाइम दे वर अलाउइंग टू गिव एग्जाम फ्रॉम होम आल्सो, बट आफ्टर 2022 they stopped. They said that they will start giving exam from home in future, but they have not started. ACCA, CIMA exam can be given by sitting in home, remote basis. But CMA, CPA exam remote basis घर से बैठकर नहीं. Prometric centers जहां है वहां एग्जाम देना है. So if in your city, suppose somebody is in India from Asansol, suppose somebody is in India from Siliguri, and in Siliguri there is no prometric centers, तो आपको सिलीगुड़ी से बाहर आके देना पड़ेगा. मैं क्या करूं यार? One exam, one day. You need to go there and you need to give exam there only. Exam form. If you are going to give exam in September, you are targeting September, any date, you should be booking exam now only. Itna jaldi. Reason, the number of students are increasing significantly. So for that reason, the exam centers are booked very fast. And if suppose your nearest exam center, prometric center is booked, you need to go far away. So you should be booking the exam as early as possible. Normally मैं बोलता हूं सितंबर का एग्जाम आपको अगस्त बिगिनिंग तक वर्स्ट टू वर्स्ट बुक कर देना चाहिए. वो भी लेट हो गया. अक्टूबर में एग्जाम देना है, then you need to book exam by September beginning, so that you get your desired center, the desired date and all that. एग्जाम बुक करने के लिए you are already the in entrance and membership fee paid. You will log in on the website, you will book your exam, you will select the date, center and all that select date, center will be done later. First of all, you need to pay the exam fees. Once you pay, they will be giving you mail, and from there you will be able to select the center and all that. और उसके बाद आप पेमेंट माने डेट वगैरह सेलेक्ट करोगे और फिर एग्जाम बुकिंग करोगे. पेमेंट करने के पहले सेंटर सेलेक्ट हो जाएगा, बट उस सेंटर में कौन सा डेट वगैरह आपको मिलेगा वो आपको पेमेंट करने के बाद ही मिलेगा. बगैर पेमेंट यू कांट बुक. आई ऑलवेज से गो ऑन सेइंग इन द क्लास कि भाई ये जल्दी से जल्दी एग्जाम बुक करिए, सो दैट योर स्टडी फोकस विल बी मच बेटर. बिकॉज जब एग्जाम बुक्ड यू विल स्टडी इन अ डिफरेंट वे, एंड इफ एग्जाम इज नॉट बुक्ड यू विल नॉट स्टडी इन दैट वे. We are human beings. We always have this nature. कल कर लेंगे, परसों कर लेंगे, ये हमारा नेचर होता है. एग्जाम बुक करने से आपका ये नेचर नहीं चलेगा. So you should always study CMA US with a target that I will be giving exam one part in 4 months, another part in 4 months. My target is to complete in 8 months. वर्स टू वर्स 12 months, so that I don't need to pay membership fee again. पैसा का वेस्टेज नहीं करना है. 8 months नॉर्मल है, वर्स टू वर्स 12 months. कोर्स करना है तो ये सोच कर कि मेरे को 12 months में कोर्स कंप्लीट करना है, उससे ज्यादा आगे नहीं जाएंगे. फॉर दैट हाउ मच आवर्स वी नीड टू स्टडी, कितना देर पढ़ना है, क्या करना है. I will be going into the syllabus just after this. Whatever the syllabus is there, even though if you are doing self-study also, जितना टाइम मैं बोलूंगा उससे you can see 50% more, not more than that. उससे ज्यादा टाइम आपको नहीं लगेगा. लेकिन ये जो बोल रहे हैं एकदम रिसर्च करके, सभी ट्रेनिंग प्रोवाइडर से डिस्कस करके विद द IMA हम बता रहे कितना देर लगता है. नॉर्मली if suppose we are targeting कि we are going to give exam for part 1 or part 2 in October, when I am teaching in the class, my target is to prepare you for the exam that you will be giving exam in October, after 15th of October, between 15th to 30th of October आप एग्जाम देने वाले. तो जुलाई, अगस्त, सितंबर and October around 20 days. So what is the total number of days? 90 plus 15, 105 days. 105 में से 5 और निकाल दीजिए. 100 days. 100 days. 100 days में including my classes, including my training classes. Whether you are an average student, below average, above average, doesn't matter. The study is not more than 250 hours. If you are doing self-study, I can take 350 hours. 100 घंटा और बढ़ा दीजिए. बोलेगा भाई, because in self-study you need to do more research. So for that reason, slightly more. But if you are studying from me or from anybody, training classes और खुद का self-study लेकर 250 hours. So per day, in 100 days, it is not coming greater than 2.5 hours. I will be giving you proof that how we will be completing the syllabus, what you will study. 2 से 2.5 घंटे आपको पढ़ना. And if you are one of the busiest person on this earth, you are working in an organization and you have huge responsibility, मेरे ख्याल से आप 2 घंटा दिन में निकाल सकते हैं. You need to study every day. You can't say that I will study on Saturday, Sunday, 4 hours, 5 hours each. Then in that case, you start eating food only on Saturday, Sunday. Monday to Friday, don't eat food. That's not possible, man. If you want to get success, then you need to do the things which is required. आपको डेली 2-2.5 घंटे पढ़ना होगा, तभी होगा. If you are brilliant, you will be able to score high marks, more than 400, 450 plus. If you are an average or below average, by studying that much, you will be able to score pass marks. यानी कि ज्यादा कुछ नहीं पढ़ना, पढ़ाई इतना देरी करना. बट ये जो पढ़ाई करेंगे, ये समझ के, कॉन्सेप्ट के साथ, चीजों को याद नहीं करना. So I will be teaching. Say I will be taking around 35 to 40 classes approximately. Because इतना साल से पढ़ा रहे उतना ही लगता है. In each class I am taking around 3 hours. I don't count first class as a class. So 35 to 40 into 3 will be coming around 100 to 120 hours of class. और आपका self study 100 to 120 hours yours also. कैसे? Suppose today I am giving class. After the class, you need to do the recordings. How much time it should take in recordings? अगर 3 घंटे की क्लास है, तो recordings आप 1-1.5 घंटा में कर पाएं. You need to increase the speed of the video. Increase speed करने के लिए सॉफ्टवेयर में प्रोविजन है, आप उसको इंक्रीज कर सकते हैं. और वैसे भी बहुत सारे समय में कोई जनरल ज्ञान दे रहा हूं, ये सब जो बोल रहा हूं, हो सकता है ये वापस नहीं करना है. तो डेफिनेटली of a 3 hours class, recording can be done in 1-1.5 hours. यानी कि एक वीक मैंने आपको 6 घंटे पढ़ाया. 1 week 3-6 hours I am teaching you, and for recording you were taking around 3 hours, 9 hours. और एक वीक में 7 days है, 7 into 2 14 hours, around 15 hours स्टडी आप करने वाले हो. 9 घंटा मेरे साथ और रिकॉर्डिंग करने में लग गया. 6 hours क्या करेंगे? जिसका रिकॉर्डिंग किया, जो कराया गया, उसको खुद से करिए. The same question which I solved in the class, solve on your own. The extra question which are given to you, solve them. I will say that जो लाइव क्लास है और जो रिकॉर्डिंग आपने किया, उसी को फिर से करेंगे, इट विल टेक 2 to 3 hours टू स्टडी, उसको फिर से लिख के करेंगे, and 2 to 3 hours you will do self study, further additional questions, extra questions for practice, and you will be asking doubts on that. चाहे आप कितना भी बुद्धिमान कम बुद्धिमान, इससे ज्यादा नहीं पढ़ना है यार, क्या करना है, जरूरत ही नहीं है ना। बोलेगा सीए वगैरह में तो हम लोग को 10-12 घंटा पढ़ना पड़ता है, वहां 4 सब्जेक्ट पढ़ रहे हैं सर। यहां पर आपको क्या करना है, आफ्टर 15, 20 days, 30 days, सपोज आई एम गोइंग इन डिफरेंट पार्ट्स, आप पुराना वाला रिवीजन भी चालू कर दीजिए। सपोज इन द मंथ ऑफ जुलाई, आफ्टर 15th of July, you start revising whatever has already been done in the classes. How to revise? With your own notes, with your own write up. जो क्लास में पढ़ाया जाएगा लिख लिख कर पढ़िए, not pen and paper. On a screen like this, I have written. When I will be teaching, I will be writing so many things on the screen. Without writing, you can't understand anything in life. That's rule, sir. अगर चीजों को समझना है, you have to study in writing. आपने लाइव क्लास किया, you have done recording, you need to write the same thing on your own. Whenever you raise doubts in the class, I understand whether you are following the instructions or not. जब आप डाउट पूछेंगे मेरे को समझ में आ जाएगा डाउट क्यों आ रहा है, क्योंकि आप इंस्ट्रक्शंस फॉलो नहीं कर रहे। नहीं तो डाउट कम आएंगे, समझ में जल्दी आएगा, योर मोटिवेशन विल इंक्रीज। For all the classes, you will get recordings by default. Recordings you cannot do from the YouTube, or live classes cannot be done from YouTube. For the live class, I will be sharing with you Zoom link before the class. अगर मंडे को क्लास है, मंडे को सुबह आपके पास लिंक जाएगा दोपहर तक, you will be able to attend that class from the Zoom. Once the class is over, it will be uploaded in our software, and from the software you will be able to see the recordings. The recordings can be seen in one single laptop and one mobile phone, Android based. If you have iPhone, you can see the recordings only in the laptop. You can't see on iPhone. Normally, I advise the recordings should be done on a laptop on a bigger screen. You should not be seeing the recordings even though you have Android phone on the phone, because understanding level will be there on a bigger screen. It's not a movie. It's an understanding concept requires. You need to do the recordings on a bigger screen. So it will be running on MacBook, but it cannot run on the mobile phone, iPhone. Any Android phone and one single laptop, you will be able to do the recordings. The recordings, if you are not able to do, some problems are there. Like recently, Google has changed their programming and all that. So software में recording के लिए उसको change करना पड़ा. Some of the student complaints, sir, video hazy आ रहा है. I told to the software developer, then he said that कि sir, Google has changed the programming. हम लोग change कर दिया, video hazy नहीं आएगा. यानी कि sometimes some problem may arise, technical issues. My team is there, they will solve the issue. आपको टेक्निकल इशू के लिए मेल डालना है टीम को, कॉल करने का जरूरत नहीं है, आप मेल डालिए, दे विल सॉल्व योर क्वेरी. एंड फॉर एनी सब्जेक्ट रिलेटेड क्वेरी you will be calling me, you will be mailing us. Where as far as my communication with you, those who are registered, we have already created a WhatsApp group of all. If somebody is not included in the WhatsApp group, those who are already registered with us, हम लोग उसको इंक्लूड कर देंगे. आप मेल डालिए, हम लोग ऐड कर देंगे. अगर नहीं आप, otherwise my team has taken care that all those who are studying with us, registered with us, they are in WhatsApp group. WhatsApp group क्यों है? मेरे को 1 by 1 कम्युनिकेट नहीं करना पड़ेगा in one way, सबको एक साथ. But then it is for you all those who are taking classes with Saraf. Anybody in the WhatsApp group, you can see their number, you can message it. I am Nasiullah. I am taking classes with Saraf sir. Who are you? Can we study together? Can we help each other? Now, if the other person reciprocate, then he or she becomes your friend. You start studying together. तो आपके पास सबका नंबर है. आपको किसी से भी कम्युनिकेट करना करिए ना. कौन प्रॉब्लम दिया? कोई नहीं दिया. As far as here, if somebody is asking, anybody has given part 1, part 2 exam, how you will communicate with that person, Suresh, or anybody? वो यहां पर संभव नहीं है. अगर आप पूछ भी लेंगे, कोई भूल रहा है, नहीं भूल रहा है, बिकॉज कोई देख भी नहीं रहा है ना आपको. लेकिन जो ग्रुप बना है उसमें से आप दूसरे लोगों से कनेक्ट कर सकते हैं. सो वी ऑलवेज मेक अ व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप फॉर माई कम्युनिकेशन टू ऑल ऑफ यू, एंड एट द सेम टाइम यू कैन इंटरकनेक्ट विथ ईच अदर, अगर आपकी इच्छा है तो. अब जबरदस्ती हम किसी का नंबर तो किसी को दे नहीं सकते. Somebody can fight. Why you have shared my detail with this student and all that? Past mein hua hua hai, so I can't do that. This is unethical. So for that reason, it's upon you that how you utilize the WhatsApp. And what do you say? You need to study properly to pass the exam. This is, you can say, exam pattern, booking the exam, how much to study. Now comes which material to refer. पढ़ने के लिए कौन सा material refer करना. Whenever the student join with us, we share with you the Google Drive link. There is no physical material we are giving and never we will give. Even though you are ready to pay extra money then also. Because exam is computer based. You need to increase your understanding on screen, read on screen, write on screen, everything on screen. I don't want students to take printout and study with the printouts. We will not be able to pass the exam. Speed will not come. If you say that, sir, I don't have habit, you need to change your habit, man. To get something, you need to follow the instructions. You need to follow what is required. So in your part, I will say that in part A, part 1, part 2, both the parts, 6 portions are there. Part A, part B, part C, part D, part E, part F. All these notes, PDF file are there. Then you can see that whatever the change in the syllabus I have downloaded from the website of the institute, and that is also there. What is the change I will discuss. The previous batch which I took some of the patches, the class slides. This I say as a class slide, which while teaching I go on writing. And this class slides I will share after every class with all of you. After every class I will share with all of you the class slides. So some previous batches class slides are there. There is a CMA support package 2020 and 2023. Both the package are there, from which we regularly do questions. This is given by the IMA Institute. For September-October exam, they are preparing the support package, and that will be updated on the institute website in some time. For the registered students, not for anybody. तो वो support package जब मिलेगा तो हम उससे भी practice करने लगेंगे. In the last 2 batches, in which batch, what I taught, in what class, that is the video list. And then you can say that the 2020 changes, now that is old, the 2024 changes, the 3 files are there. Now, these all I have downloaded in my separate folder. आपको भी जब लिंक गया आपको डाउनलोड कर लेना चाहिए. Somebody will say that sir I have not received this. Sir अभी क्लास के बाद मैं फिर दूंगा. आपको टेंशन नहीं लेना. After the class, I will mail the Google Drive link to all of you. Whether you received or not doesn't matter. So don't take tension. इसके अंदर there are 3 materials which I have downloaded from the institute website relating to the change in the syllabus. This is made by IMA, not by me, sir. ये IMA ने बनाया, मैंने नहीं बनाया, sir. In any course, not only IMA, in any course, the syllabus is called Learning Statement Outcomes. Learning Statement Outcomes is called syllabus. Not only for CMA. For any course in the world, it is called Learning Statement Outcomes. LOS. वो LOS को अगर आप पढ़ेंगे तो ओल्ड सिलेबस और न्यू सिलेबस में एज सच कोई डिफरेंस आपको दिखेगा नहीं. You will not be able to find any difference. But when you break down the LOS, then the IMA is saying that. Topic added in part 1. Consolidated statement, contribution margin, other costing system, testing methods for internal control, control deficiency remediation, and data management. Consolidation statement 1, contribution margin 2, other costing method 3, testing method for internal control 4, control deficiency 5, data management 6. This is testing method for internal control, deficiency, remediation. This is in core area E. Data management core area F. Other costing methods core area C and D. Contribution margin core area C and D. Consolidation core area A. As far as part 2 is concerned, the financial trend analysis, debt financing, discount rates, sensitivity analysis, types of business fraud, and data analytics are again 6 addition. And this will be tested from September 2024 exam. अब ये सब है क्या? तो पहले एक बार जो सिलेबस वो लोग बताते हैं उसके बारे में एक बार ध्यान देते हैं. दिस इज पार्ट 1 पार्ट 2 सिलेबस 2024 है ना. पार्ट 1 पार्ट 2 सिलेबस 2024. If you go in old syllabus, the same 6 parts are there. Core area 1 part 1 के अंदर part A, part 1 के अंदर part A, external financial reporting. Relating to this part, there is an addition consolidated statement. ठीक है. Planning, budgeting and forecasting. Relating to this, there is no change. Performance management, relating to this, there is no change. Part A, part B, part C, part D. Cost management, there is a change, contribution margin and other costing methods. Then comes part E, internal control. There are 2 things. Testing methods for internal control, control deficiency remediation. And in the part F, there is a data management under technology and analytics. Similarly, in part 2, financial statement analysis, they have included financial trend analysis, one more area. Relating to corporate finance, they have included debt financing. Relating to business decision making, no change. Enterprise risk management, no change. Capital investment decisions, they have incorporated sensitivity analysis. Types of fraud and ethics, they have included in professional ethics. अभी ये सब है क्या? पहले suppose I am focusing on part 2. Financial statement analysis, they are saying trend analysis. अरे भैया पहले से था सिलेबस में. The common side statement analysis, horizontal, vertical. The vertical analysis is actually trend analysis only. It's an addition of a word only. आप लर्निंग आउटकम स्टेटमेंट में जाएंगे, कोई पैराग्राफ ऐड कर दिया होगा, कुछ एडिशन नहीं है वो. फॉर स्टूडेंट, फॉर ट्रेनर, देयर इज नो चेंज. इट्स नॉट कॉल्ड अ चेंज कि भाई ट्रेंड एनालिसिस नया आ गया. कॉर्पोरेट फाइनेंस में डेट फाइनेंसिंग, आई एम टीचिंग डेट फाइनेंसिंग इवन दो इट इज नॉट स्पेसिफिकली देयर इन द कोर्स फॉर ऑल द टर्म्स. पैसा कहां से आएगा? डेट इक्विटी. सो डेट फाइनेंसिंग मे बी दे हैव एडेड सम एक्स्ट्रा राइट अप, बट for a trainer, for a student, there is no change. As far as capital investment sensitivity analysis, I am already teaching to CMA US from old batches, because I am asking the CMA student to attend my ACCA classes if they are running, or ACCA FMA. I teach sensitivity analysis already. तो पहले सिलेबस में नहीं था, ला दिया, बट फिर भी मैं पढ़ाता हूं ऑलरेडी. आपके पास पुरानी क्लासेस है तो ऑलरेडी आप कवर कर रहे हैं. और प्रोफेशनल एथिक्स में दे आर कवरिंग द बिजनेस फ्रॉड एंड डेटा एथिक्स. फ्रॉड और एथिक्स ही कोर एरिया एफ है, कुछ अलग से कुछ नहीं है. I mean to say that if you ask me, somebody is doing recording of the earlier part 2 classes, not attending live, doesn't matter man. part 2 के अंदर कोई चेंजेस नहीं है, सब वही है सर. मैंने पहले वैसे भी वो सारी चीजें पढ़ाई है जो वो लोग बोल रहे हैं, बिकॉज कोई सब्जेक्ट पढ़ाने के लिए चीज पूरा ही कवर करना पड़ता है एक बार. इन केस ऑफ पार्ट 1, आई विल से दैट इन पार्ट 1 part A, the consolidated financial statements inclusion, is slightly extra. Relating to that, if somebody is going to give exam for part 1 in September, October, आप मेरा YouTube चैनल पे जाइए. YouTube चैनल में प्लेलिस्ट में CPA का भी प्लेलिस्ट है और YouTube चैनल में प्लेलिस्ट में ACCA ये सब का भी प्लेलिस्ट है. आप उसमें कंसोलिडेटेड फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट डालिए. CPA का फर्स्ट सेकंड क्लास ऑफ फार और ACCA का कंसोलिडेटेड फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट वाला क्लास कर लीजिए. खत्म. You will understand. For those who are giving in September, October part 1 exam, those who have taken classes with me, I will be giving an extra class in the month of August around for the first part, consolidated statement inclusion. But by that time, I will mail to all the registered students the specific video from my YouTube channel. You can see those videos, that is 95% covering that. आप उसको करके रखिए. अगस्त महीना में एक क्लास में 3 घंटे की लेकर. I want to wait for institute, what do you say, the question bank, the support package, so that in the class I can explain extra questions also. So for that reason, I will be taking August and or September beginning one extra class for part 1 relating to consolidated statement. Contribution margin बोलेगा यहां पर ऐड किया. अरे भैया, अभी हम लोग आज पढ़ने वाले हैं. आई विल बी स्टार्टिंग जस्ट आफ्टर 10 मिनट्स द बिजनेस डिसीजन एनालिसिस. उसमें कंट्रीब्यूशन मार्जिन ऐसे भी पढ़ेंगे. अभी मैंने पार्ट 1 पढ़ाया तो मैंने कंट्रीब्यूशन मार्जिन ऑलरेडी सिलेबस में कवर किया था, वो अलग से ऐड कर रहे हैं. कॉस्टिंग मेथड्स, देयर आर कॉस्टिंग मेथड्स व्हिच आर नॉट इन द सिलेबस. आई एम ऑलरेडी कवरिंग, ऑलरेडी पुराने बैचेस में कवर्ड. और इंटरनल कंट्रोल का टेस्टिंग और डिफिशियंसी, इट्स अ नॉर्मल थिंग. इट्स, यू कैन सी दैट समथिंग इज सेड इन अ डिफरेंट वे. खाली एडिशन में बोलूंगा पूरा का पूरा एक्स्ट्रा इज कंसोलिडेटेड स्टेटमेंट इन पार्ट 1, नथिंग एल्स. बस ये एक ही चीज है जो CMA US स्टूडेंट को एक्स्ट्रा पढ़ाना पड़ेगा गोइंग फॉरवर्ड, बिकॉज कंसोलिडेटेड फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स पे उतना ध्यान नहीं देते थे. देयर फोकस वाज नॉट देयर. Their focus was on standalone financials, but अब कंसोलिडेशन लिख दिया तो क्वेश्चंस उस पे थोड़ा ज्यादा अच्छा से देगा. तो पार्ट 1 में मान लीजिए एक क्लास मेरा आपसे एक्स्ट्रा लगने लगेगा रिलेटिंग टू कंसोलिडेशन, बट देयर इज नो चेंज इन द सिलेबस फॉर एनीबॉडी एज सच. आप सेल्फ स्टडी कर रहे हैं, आप किसी और से पढ़ रहे हैं, मेरे से पढ़ रहे हैं, अल्टीमेटली देयर इज स्पेसिफिकली आई विल से not a big change in the syllabus the way it changed in 2020. In 2020, this was a new edition. In 2024, there is a new edition. Some deletions are there. यहाँ पर, in the, what do you say, in part 1, in performance management and cost management, process costing, equivalent units calculations, FIFO, LIFO method, all are gone. So if somebody is studying for part 1, प्रोसेस कॉस्टिंग का इक्विवेलेंट यूनिट्स, प्रोसेस कॉस्टिंग का यू कैन से दैट फीफो लीफो मेथड, इक्विवेलेंट प्रोडक्शन, ये सब बस नॉर्मल. प्रोसेस कॉस्टिंग में टोटल कॉस्ट, कॉस्ट पर यूनिट निकालना, फीफो लीफो इक्विवेलेंट एंड ऑल दैट गॉन. यानी कि प्रोसेस कॉस्टिंग में मेरा 2 क्लास जाता है, आपको केवल 10 मिनट का क्लास करना है. बैलेंस भूल जाइए, लीव इट, इग्नोर इट, दैट इज नॉट रिक्वायर्ड. बोलेगा और कहीं भी तो कुछ नहीं, और सब जगह ऐसे पैराग्राफ वगैरह वर्डिंग्स. My name is Prakash Saraf. My name is Saraf Prakash. My organization name is Saraf Gurukul Private Saraf Academy. Doesn't matter all these यार. वो कोई change नहीं बोला जाता. For a faculty, for a trainer, for a student, the change is only one. यहाँ थोड़ा financial statement consolidation extra पड़ रहा है. Then comes what is this percentage and level C? They have mentioned that level A knowledge is a lower knowledge. Level B knowledge is a higher knowledge and level C knowledge is the highest knowledge. बोलता है सभी चीज में आपको level C knowledge डेवलप करना है. Highest level of knowledge required in the entire curriculum. और ये 20% ये सब क्या है? Out of 500 marks, 20%, 100 marks will be coming from party. Out of 500 marks, 20%, 100 marks will be coming from part B, corporate finance, and so on. Financial statement analysis means Looking at the financials, P&L account, balance sheet, cash flow, notes to accounts, you need to analyze the financials of the company. Corporate finance means in the business from where the money will be coming, where the money will be invested. Money will be coming from debt and equity. Money will be invested in fixed assets, non-current, current assets. Business decision making. कौन सा प्रोडक्ट बनाना है, क्या दाम में बेचना है, कौन सा प्रोसेस यूज करना है, कौन से कस्टमर को कौन सा ऑर्डर एक्सेप्ट करना है. बिजनेस डिसीजन मेकिंग. एंटरप्राइज रिस्क मैनेजमेंट. Theory, pure theory. Somebody was asking theory that each in the business, what type of risk, why they arises, how can we manage those risks? 10%. Capital investment. Whenever you are doing investment for long term, I am doing a project by investing 5 crore, it will be running for 5-6 years. We need to consider a time value of money, capital, budgeting projects. Professional ethics. When we are doing any course, we need to be ethical. There are ethical guidelines given by the IMA Institute which we need to follow in our professional dealings and all that relating to ethics. ये जो फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट एनालिसिस है, इसको पढ़ाने में, सम्स वगैरह कराने में 3 क्लास लगता है, 3 क्लासेस पूरा डिटेल में पढ़ने में. नॉट दैट आई एम सेइंग शॉर्ट में करने, क्वेश्चन वगैरह सॉल्व करने में. कॉर्पोरेट फाइनेंस विल टेक अराउंड 5 to 6 classes. I take 6 classes only. 3 plus 6, 9. Business decision making will take around 5 classes. So 9 plus 5, 14. Enterprise risk management will take 1 class. 14 plus 1, 15. Capital investment decisions will take around 4 class. 15 plus 4, 19. Professional ethics will take around 2 class, 1.5 to 2 class. 19 plus 2, 21. Then you can see that doing some mock papers, essay type questions and all that will take 2 to 3 classes. So approximately it will be coming around 24 to 25 class. Still, I have given you the schedule of around 35-40 classes. मान लीजिए sometimes some student is asking some doubts which took extra time. Sometime I am explaining something, there is somebody who is raising different. तो मैंने पहले से ही provision रख लिया. Already the provision is done. So I will say that around 30 to 35 classes. अगर कोई जगह 2-4 क्लास एक्स्ट्रा लग जाए, 30 to 35 classes per class around 3 hours. So मोटा मोटी around 100 to 120 hours I will be teaching. तो मैंने जो शेड्यूल आपको दिया है सैटरडे और मंडे, बिकॉज आवर शेड्यूल ऑफ क्लासेस सैटरडे मॉर्निंग 7:30 to 10:30 and Monday evening 8 to 11. These are the 2 fixed live class schedule. कोई बोलेगा सर हमारा ऑफिस है, कुछ कर नहीं सकते सर, मैं और सब जगह बिजी हूं, आई एम doing the class at beyond office hour. I can't do anything. Saturday is generally a holiday. Maybe if you don't have, and I will take the class. And Monday evening I am taking 8 p.m. India time, so that you will be able to attend the live class. Students should be attending live classes because the focus, understanding will be far better. And after the live class, you will get recordings. Recordings can be seen in one laptop, one mobile phone, Android based, as I already said. So we will be running 2 classes in a week, Saturday morning and Monday evening. Because Tuesday, Thursday, Fridays, all the days I am already busy. सारा दिन क्लासेस चल रहे, different subjects and all that. So for that reason I got the opportunity Saturday, Monday. Saturday का क्लास का रिकॉर्डिंग आप संडे कंप्लीट कर लीजिए, मंडे का क्लास का रिकॉर्डिंग आप ट्यूसडे कंप्लीट कर लीजिए. एंड विद द बैलेंस डेज वेडनेसडे, थर्सडे, फ्राइडे यू डू सेल्फ स्टडी. सैटरडे और मंडे तो आप क्लास कर ही रहे हैं, सेल्फ स्टडी मत करिए. यू आर ऑलरेडी गिविंग 2 to 3 hours इन द क्लासेस. सैटरडे का क्लास का रिकॉर्डिंग संडे कंप्लीट करिए, मंडे का क्लास का रिकॉर्डिंग ऑन ट्यूसडे, और उसके अलावा थोड़ा बहुत संडे, ट्यूसडे, वेडनेसडे, थर्सडे, फ्राइडे डू सेल्फ स्टडी. हर दिन 2-2.5 घंटा पढ़ना पड़ेगा, उससे ज्यादा नहीं पढ़ना है. यू विल बी एबल टू मैनेज. एंड आई विल बी टीचिंग फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल बिजनेस डिसीजन मेकिंग इन 5 classes approx. Then I will be teaching capital investment decisions around 3 to 4 classes. So you can see that महीने में 2 classes होगी, 1 month में हम लोग ये दोनों कंप्लीट कर लेंगे, बिजनेस डिसीजंस एंड कैपिटल इन्वेस्टमेंट. उसके बाद आई विल बी डूइंग फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट एनालिसिस, देन आई विल बी डूइंग कॉर्पोरेट फाइनेंस, and then at the end I will be doing risk management and professional ethics. Suppose somebody want to give exam in September end, आप ये जो प्रोफेशनल एथिक्स और एंटरप्राइज रिस्क मैनेजमेंट, ये प्रीवियस बैच का रिकॉर्डिंग से कर लीजिए, इनमें 2 या 3 क्लास लगा होगा, वहां से कंप्लीट कर लीजिए. सो दिस मे बी आई विल बी टीचिंग से इन अक्टूबर बिगिनिंग, सितंबर एंड, आप इनको पहले ही कंप्लीट कर लीजिए. बैलेंस तो लाइव क्लास के साथ हो रहा है, इतना जल्दी आगे कहां भागना, बिकॉज एग्जाम तो सितंबर के पहले तो नहीं होएगा ना. इफ somebody want to target September exam, then do the recordings of the part D, enterprise risk management and professional ethics old batch class. मैं एडवाइस करूंगा, डोंट टारगेट सितंबर, टारगेट अक्टूबर एंड. आफ्टर 15th October, do everything live, do the homework, do the study regularly with me, raise your doubts and understand the concepts, follow me. Then in that case आपको कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं होने वाली. Even though if you taken classes for part 1, you have not given exam for any reason, अभी एक बार उसको भूल जाइए. Focus on part 2, study with me part 2, give the exam for part 2, and again when I will teach part 1 from October and from November, you take the classes for part 1 again and give exam in February. That is my advice. Because if you are studying part 1 and suppose by chance you are not giving part 1 exam also in September, October, सब उल्टा हो जा रहा है ना. I am teaching part 2, you are studying part 1, I am teaching part 1, you are studying part 2. उल्टा मत करिए. If you are with me, you need to follow me, man. क्यों ना एग्जाम दिए पहले, देयर मे बी एनी रीजन, अब चला गया ना यार, कर लेंगे. पार्ट 1 पार्ट 2 दोनों ही तो देना है, फोकस करिए ना पार्ट 2 के ऊपर. दैट इज माई एडवाइस. फिर भी आपको अपना मर्जी करना है, इट्स अपॉन यू. आई कांट चेंज यू, आई कैन जस्ट एडवाइस यू. मैं तो आपको बता सकता हूं कि आपको क्या करना चाहिए. Any other thing? I don't think so. I left anything which is common and general which I need to communicate. But still, I am giving 2-3 minutes for all of you to ask your doubts. If I have not said anything, if I have not communicated, then please ask in the chat box. What is your further query which I forgot to tell? Forgot to say, sorry. Suresh Patel, Masiullah, Muhammad Saifuddin, or anybody else who is there. What is the thing generally you want to know about CMA US, which I have not yet communicated, which I have not said? One thing more, sir, you will be teaching in English or Hindi. Whatever language I will use, you will understand, guarantee. Whether I am saying in English, whether I am saying in Hindi. Some student request, sir, I don't know English so much. Some students say, sir, I don't know Hindi at all. दोनों के लिए classes. It's not a language class. Just now I said Saifuddin here. Saturday class in the morning 7:30 to around 10:30. And Monday evening class will be live 8 to 11:30. Monday class will be slightly lengthier. But Saturday class will be till around 10:30. This is live. And the recordings will be there with you after the class. Anytime you can see the recordings on the software. Only one slot, sir. No other slot. And no request. Nothing is possible. I am already taking classes on all the days, on every day, Monday morning, evening. Sometimes ACCA, sometimes CIMA, sometimes IFRS, sometimes deep IFRS. So not possible, sir. And you are getting luxury. I am teaching CMA US on Saturday, sir. It is already 1 week end. And the another class I need to take on some weekday because I am not free, sir. Masiullah ji, you are from the previous batch, part 1. You have analyzed in the last batch how many students attend the live classes on an average. Whenever I am taking live classes, how many students attend the live classes on an average? Masiullah ji, थोड़ा बताइए सबको यार. आप ऑलरेडी हमारे रजिस्टर्ड स्टूडेंट हैं. जब ACCA CMA का कॉमन क्लास होता है तब नहीं. जब ओनली सीएमए का क्लास होता है, कितने स्टूडेंट लाइव क्लास करने आते हैं? How many students attend the live classes on an average in CMA? Masiullah ji, I am waiting for you. In your batch presently, according to me, around precisely 69 students are there, sir. Those who are registered with us in last 1 year. I'm talking about 1 year. अगर 1 year के पहले वाला घूरेंगे तो और लास्ट 1 year में 69 स्टूडेंट हमारे से पढ़ रहे, लाइव क्लास करने 9 स्टूडेंट भी आएगा नहीं सर. And Mohammed Safuddin, whatever time you say, if I will do the class at that time, then also you will, anybody will not attend. Masiullah ji, आपको याद होएगा, in the last batch you said that, sir, Saturday class can you take at 7 AM? But आपने फिर भी क्लासेस अटेंड किया नहीं सर, क्योंकि आपके यहां पर फ्राइडे हॉलीडे है, तो आप बोले सर सैटरडे, और जिस दिन आपने बोला उसी के बाद से अब सैटरडे गायब है. सो कोई रिक्वेस्ट करके फायदा नहीं है. इफ your intention is correct that I will do the classes live, you will be able to do, sir. You are maybe from KSA, any day when I will take class, if you are doing job properly, and suppose you will request to your employer, if chances are there with a good work, कि भाई one day I will be taking slightly earlier leave, you can manage. Because मेरे ख्याल से KSA and India difference, timing difference is around 3.5 hours. So normally the office time gets over around 6. मैं 8 बजे कर रहा हूं, तो आप थोड़ा सा रिक्वेस्ट करके क्लास में आ सकते हैं, इच्छा. When the intention is clear, that can be managed, sir. But और लेट से करने से थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगा यार, because there are students from India also, and if I am already starting 8 to 11, 11:30, and if I will start at around 10, मैं कर सकता हूं, बिलीव करिए. स्टूडेंट डंडा मारेगा यार, इसीलिए. So I am to always for the professionals I am doing the classes like this. अब अलग अलग कंट्री के लिए अलग अलग टाइम जोन को कैसे करेंगे, है ना? So need to understand I am always keeping the classes beyond office hour, and very Saturday morning generally the offices are not there. Monday evening 8 PM, so definitely there are no problems. But और कुछ कर नहीं सकते. Yes, when there is a will, there is a way. That I will say also. Yes, sir. So no doubt, nothing relating to anything. Registration, exam, fees, paper pattern, syllabus, कितना पढ़ना है, कितनी देर पढ़ना है, एग्जाम कब देना है, वगैरह वगैरह, blah blah blah. If there is no doubt from anybody, please type everybody in the chat box N. If there is no doubt from anybody relating to all these general things, then please type in the chat box N. Please. I am waiting for your chat. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Suresh. जो आपका शुरू में क्वेश्चंस था, मेरे ख्याल से मैंने सब बोल दिया सर. Okay. So now let's proceed to study the subject. As I said, I will be going with part C first. मैंने बोला कि मैं पार्ट सी के साथ जाऊंगा. C1, C2 and C3. First of all, part C general. The institute is saying that. And in part C, part 2, there is no change. Part C के अंदर part 2 में कोई change ही नहीं. That means I am teaching the same thing which is there in the syllabus since last 4 years. 2020 के बाद वही चीज चल रहा है. Same. Institute payment is in 3 parts, as I said. My fees you can pay in EMI, but in EMI our fees is 12,999 per month. So in EMI, in place of 67, it will be coming around 78. It will be coming around 10,000 more. Somebody will say why? Suppose you are joining our classes today. Now we need to give you the software from which you will be doing the recordings. The software person is taking a particular amount for every student, and that is greater than 13,000. So when the student is paying a monthly fee, the inflow to Saraf Academy is 0. It is going more than to the software provider. And suppose after 15 days, 1 month, the student will say that I will not do the course, I am not doing it, is difficult. Or sir, you are not teaching well. Maybe. But मेरा तो 100 वीडियोस है, मैं तो पहले देखने बोल रहा हूं यार. तो in that case मेरा नुकसान हो रहा है. We are not asking any documentation proof, address proof, ID proof, PAN card, this, that, bank statement, salary receipt, nothing. So since we are taking a risk, because 2 months earlier, around previous batch ke pehle, there is no monthly EMI fees in our case. But we started from the last batch, when I started part 1 in the month of March. Then I thought that we need to help a student with the monthly fee. So आप monthly fee मेरा pay कर सकते हैं, which is 12,999 per month. You need to pay 6 EMI, 6 installments. That is possible. The institute fees तो वैसे भी अभी देना नहीं है सर, धीरे धीरे करके देना है. Institute का फीस देने के पहले study material खरीदना होगा, which is through Saraf Academy around 19,999, 20,000. और उसके बाद हम आपका डिटेल इंस्टीट्यूट के साथ शेयर करेंगे. Then we will pay to the institute the entrance fees and the membership fees. So you can say that suppose you go for EMI Mohammed Saifuddin or anybody, then in that case the EMI is 12,999. After 5-10 days you should be paying for the hawk material, or you buy hawk material on your own, so which will be coming around 20,000. यानी कि आपका 15 दिन के अंदर around 13 plus 20 33,000 लग गया. हमने आपका डिटेल इंस्टीट्यूट के साथ शेयर किया to get the discount coupon and all that on entrance fee, membership fee. तो आपने इंस्टीट्यूट को around 10-15 days बाद पे किया, which will be coming for a professional around 25,000 membership fee discount वगैरह लेकर. यानी कि आपका टोटल पैसा 1 month में कितना खर्चा हो गया? 13 plus 20 for material and plus around 25,000. अब आपका जो भी पैसा जाएगा फॉर एग्जाम बुकिंग इन द मंथ ऑफ सितंबर बिगिनिंग, बिकॉज मैंने बोला अक्टूबर में एग्जाम देने के लिए वहां बुक करना है कम से कम, वर्स्ट टू वर्स्ट. एंड देन आप दूसरा जब एग्जाम देंगे, दूसरे की एग्जाम फीस जाएगी. दैट इज द कॉस्ट ब्रेकअप. एंड इफ यू आर ज्वाइनिंग आवर क्लासेस बाय पेइंग इन वन गो, you pay 66,999 to us. You will pay after 5-10 days for the material 20,000, or you buy on your own. We will share your detail with IMA and you pay to the IMA entrance fees, membership fees around 15 days later. Or for exam fees up there. That's the story, sir. So both means EMI is possible in case of my tuition fees, but the EMI is not possible in case of institute payment or material payment. There is no EMI for that. You can go for the EMI. In that case, I will help you to take a loan from ICICI Bank. We have contracted with ICICI Bank. आपका जो documentation होगा उसमें you need to give income proof and all that, PAN card, everything. So ICICI Bank से पूरा loan मिल जाएगा, which is around 1.93 lakh पूरा. And the way you need to pay, ICICI will be giving you money to make the payment. That is possible. But the ICICI Bank need to approve your loan based on your documents. That is not in my hand. That is also possible, sir. Okay. Getting Mohammed Saifuddin. दूसरा बात यही है कि दुनिया में नॉलेज लेना सबको जरूरी है. आप कोई कोर्स करें या ना करें, because so many changes are happening in the world on regular basis. If we don't update ourselves, we will be destroyed. The market is very competitive and we need to sharpen our skills, knowledge regularly. Even after doing CMA also, we need to do that. Okay. So now the syllabus section C, decision analysis. They are saying there are three parts: cost, volume, profit analysis, marginal analysis, and pricing. Relating to that, they have mentioned कि भाई इसमें क्या क्या है, मार्जिनल एनालिसिस में क्या है, प्राइसिंग में क्या है, कॉस्ट वॉल्यूम प्रॉफिट एनालिसिस में क्या है, लेकिन सबका नाम क्या लिखा है? डिसीजन एनालिसिस। ये डिसीजन एनालिसिस क्या होता है? Suppose you need to take a decision that whether you will be joining classes or whether you will be doing self-study. Suppose you need to take a decision whether you will be joining at Saraf or you will be joining at somewhere else. That's a decision for you. For me, I need to take a decision whether I should be teaching ACCA, CIMA, CMA, which course I should be teaching, whether what fees I should be charging from my students, when I should be taking the classes. Business decisions, जिसका जो है उसको लेना है, प्रोडक्ट किसको बेचना है, क्या दाम में बेचना है, होलसेल, रिटेल, कॉस्टिंग, प्राइसिंग, कस्टमर्स, डिफरेंट मार्केट, डिसीजंस तो बिजनेस में लेना ही पड़ेगा. Those business decisions are taken based on these technique. And there are three types of business decision technique they have covered in the syllabus. CVP, cost volume profit analysis, marginal analysis, and pricing decisions. For the time being, I am first of all discussing CVP, cost volume profit analysis. I am talking about Saraf Academy just for example. Cost of running my organization, cost of providing live classes, cost of giving recording classes, cost of study material, whatever cost in the Saraf Academy, that the cost. Volume. What is the number of students? What is the sales revenue I am generating? The changes in the cost and volume affect on the income. Change in cost, increase and decrease in cost, increase and decrease in sales revenue will have effect on the income. Cost, volume, profit analysis. What is my objective? My objective is to reduce the cost in Saraf Academy. मेरा ऑब्जेक्टिव है सराफ एकेडमी में खर्चा कम होना, सभी का होता है. Wherever you are working, your objective is to reduce the cost in your organization. Revenue. Increase the revenue, increase the number of students, increase the tuition fees. I want to increase the revenue. But whatever changes I will be doing, I need to have a positive impact on the profit. Suppose in my organization, salary of staff, there are around 17 persons working in my organization, including chauffeur, driver, including what do you say, peon, including a person who goes here and there, including counselor, accountant, marketing persons. I will consider myself also as an employee because in Saraf Gurukul Private Limited, Prakash Saraf, Vidisha Saraf, our director, they are the employee. So like this, we have 17 employees. Can I reduce the cost of employees in Saraf Academy? Can I reduce the salary of employees in Saraf Academy? Because if I want to think about reduction in the cost, which is my prime objective, can I do that? I'm asking from everybody. If we don't involve in the class, understanding will never come. You need to chat in the chat box. Yes or no? Can I reduce the salary expenditures every month, which is happening in Saraf Academy? 17 employees, including directors, peon, managers, staff, everybody. Can I reduce the expenditures of salary in Saraf Academy? Yes or no? Yes or no? क्या भाई? Till the time nobody will reply, I will not proceed. Can I reduce the salary in Saraf Academy? Because cost, volume, profit analysis. So cost को कम करना है, salary. Can I reduce the salary expenditure in Saraf Academy? No. I am giving you logic, Isa. If out of 17 employees, I leave 1 or 2 employees, you will say that, sir, how the work will be done? Work can be done by the balance employees. If I leave some of the employees, then I can reduce the salary. But if I don't leave anybody, then I cannot reduce their salary, whatever they are getting on monthly basis. अगर किसी का सैलरी मंथली 20,000 है, हम उसको नेक्स्ट महीना से बोलेंगे भाई तुमको 19,900 देंगे, डंडा मारेगा. Salary can never reduce to a person. You can increase, it can remain constant. But if you reduce the number of employees, then it can reduce. Number of employees कम करने का possibility है नहीं. सबका अपना अपना काम है. They have different jobs and it is not possible to reduce that. उस सैलरी को हम लोग कम नहीं कर सकते. So Muhammad Saifuddin said that since it is a fixed expenditure, it cannot be reduced. यानी कि generally we need to divide the expenditure into two categories: variable expenditure, fixed expenditures. Fixed expenditures are difficult to reduce, but variable expenditures we can reduce as per Muhammad Saifuddin. What is the variable expenditure in Saraf Academy? Can I say variable expenditure is the expenditure payable to the software provider for every student, as I said in the beginning? Can I say that variable expenditure in Saraf Academy is the software amount payable to the software provider for every student? क्या भाई? Can I say? Variable expenditure in Saraf Academy is the amount payable to the software provider for every student. Can I say it is a variable expenditure? Because as per Saifuddin or as per most of you, according to me, fixed expenditure cannot be reduced. So can I reduce the variable expenditures? And one example in Saraf Academy, variable expenditure is the expenditure on each student to the software provider. So can I reduce the software expenditure? Now to the software person, suppose for each student I am giving 20,000. I can give him less than 20,000. I don't think so, sir. But if I will reduce the number of students, if the number of students are coming less, then there will be less payment. But is it good for me to reduce the number of students to pay less to the software provider? Whether it will be good for me? Number of students कम कर देंगे तो सॉफ्टवेयर वाले को कमती देना पड़ेगा. This is called 𝐂𝐂𝐂𝐂𝐿. This is called insane. Because when the student will come, they will be giving me tuition fees. So I'm not interested at all to reduce the number of students so that I need to pay less amount to the software provider. I'm not a Kalidas. That means how can we reduce the expenditure then? Fixed expenditure गिरेगा नहीं. Variable expenditure per unit remains same. So you cannot reduce the revenue, you cannot reduce the number of units to reduce the cost. That's illogical. So how any organization in the world will be able to reduce the cost? I'm giving example. The fixed expenditure each constant. 17 employee fixed expenditure in Saraf Academy each constant. If suppose in total I am teaching say around 800 to 1,000 students. and the number of students becomes 1000 to 1200. The fixed cost will remain same. But now if I want to calculate per student, the number of students are more, per unit it will be down. If you want to control fixed cost, you need to increase your volume. If the volume increase, the per unit fixed cost will be going down. This is called, what do you say? Economies of scale. When you increase your scale, then the cost effectively per unit goes down. Even in case of variable cost also, when the number of students are 800 to 1000, and suppose to the software person I am paying per student 20,000. When the number of students will be 1000 to 1200, I will be telling him, now you are able to earn through Saraf Academy more. So can you reduce the per student fees? Is it possible? Raw material you are purchasing for producing finished goods. If you purchase more and more raw material, the cost will be going down. If you purchase more and more raw material, the cost will be going down. We can see that every day we cannot reduce the cost. But in 2 months, 3 months, in a year, the possibilities are there that we can reduce the cost without compromising quality of the product or service. I'm not saying that we will be reducing the quality of the product or service. Without compromising on the quality of the product or service, we can reduce the cost. We need to apply our brain. We need to apply economies of scale. We need to check about substitute material. We need to check about improving the performance of the laborers, of the staff. We need to see other alternative ways. We need to see about application of IT, application of technology to do some job in place of human beings. We can apply technology to do the same job at a lower cost. दुनिया में ये सब तो चल ही रहा है. This is, you can see, analysis of cost. Cost, volume, profit analysis. Cost analysis. I am giving my example just for the sake of giving. You are working somewhere, you take example of your organization. Apply the process so that the cost in your organization goes down. Before becoming CMA, you will be getting extra package, extra incentive, extra money. CMA करने से सैलरी नहीं बढ़ेगा. CMA करे बगैर बढ़ जाएगा. CMA करने के पहले बढ़ जाएगा. Whatever you are studying in the class, try to apply that in the organization. I have given consultancy to some of the organizations, practically, not as a teaching, it's a consultancy, and I have been able to reduce their cost. And whatever the reduction in the cost, some portion of that I should be getting as a remuneration for the management consultancy. So आपको अगर अपना management consultancy खोलना है, वहां पर भी काम आएगा. And there is always a scope for improvement. There is always possibility to reduce the cost. Impossible कुछ नहीं. But without compromising the quality of the product or service. Volume. I want to increase my number of students so that the tuition fees I will be able to collect more. For that, I need to teach much better way. I need to use better materials. I need to use better technology. I need to compete with the others, those who are in the same field. What they are doing, I need to do better than them. Maybe I can reduce the tuition fees to increase the number of students. Suppose presently there are in the batch 70 students and the per student fees is 67,000. If I will make the tuition fees say 60,000 and the number of student becomes 100. So 100 into 70,000 will be my tuition fees. But presently it is 70,000, 67,000 in 100 into 60,000 will be the tuition fees. But presently it is 67,000 into 70. The total tuition fees is more, but the expenditure will also be more. Because for the 100 student in place of 70, 30 additional, there will be additional variable cost. By changing the selling price, by changing the quality, by changing the features, we can change the volume, we can change. But it should be positive change. The volume should be increasing, the profits should be increasing. We are required to do this cost volume profit analysis in any organization of the world. Changing raw material, changing finished goods, changing delivery process, changing labor, changing substitute material, changing the sale pattern, the selling pattern, advertisement, whatever, so that we will be able to achieve better outcome. This is called cost volume profit analysis. आप अगर कोई भी किताब खोलेंगे ऐसे बता नहीं रहे. I'm not saying I am very good, but somebody asked me, sir, it is theory or numerical? What I said up till now is a theory or numerical. What I discussed up till now, what is CVP, is a theory or numerical. If it is theory, type T in the chat box. If it is numerical, type N in the chat box. Please say. Whatever I discussed, what is CVP up till now? If it is theory, type T in the chat box. If it is numericals, type N in the chat box. Somebody was earlier asking theory or numerical. भाई सबसे पहले आप ही बोलिए कि whatever I discussed, it is T or N. Why you are saying numericals? I have not used any figures, sir. According to me, there is no theory or numericals in this world, sir. All are concept. मेरे को ये नहीं समझ में आता कि स्टूडेंट थ्योरी न्यूमेरिकल क्यों बोलता है. थ्योरी भी नहीं है, न्यूमेरिकल भी नहीं है, कॉन्सेप्ट है. जब मैं अभी कोई न्यूमेरिकल फिगर्स वगैरह लूंगा, अगर मैंने ये समझाया नहीं, if I have not explained you what is CVP, I cannot take examples of numericals. अब मैं न्यूमेरिकल में जा रहा हूं, लेकिन मेरे हिसाब से थ्योरी न्यूमेरिकल अलग अलग नहीं होता. इफ यू अंडरस्टैंड द कॉन्सेप्ट, थ्योरी न्यूमेरिकल एक ही होता है सर. चीज को समझना है. और CMA US तो समझने से ही पास होंगे. आप बहुत ज्यादा क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करके पास नहीं होंगे. यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड. वी आर सेइंग दैट in any organization of the world, the cost is divided into 3 categories: variable cost, fixed cost, semi-variable cost. Variable cost, fixed cost, semi-variable cost. Variable cost is that cost which will vary in the production volume, sales volume. Fixed cost will not change by change in the production or sales volume. Semi-variable cost, some portion will change, some portion will not change, because it includes some portion variable, some portion fixed. Variable cost means आप जो भी चीज बनाकर सेल करते हैं, in your organization it will be incurred on every unit. मेरे यहां मैं आपको ट्रेनिंग क्लासेस प्रोवाइड करता हूं, तो हर एक स्टूडेंट के ऊपर जो मेरा खर्चा लगेगा वो वेरिएबल. मैंने बोला हर एक स्टूडेंट के ऊपर सॉफ्टवेयर वाले को पैसे देने हैं, तो हर एक स्टूडेंट के ऊपर सॉफ्टवेयर वाले को व्हाटएवर आई एम पेइंग इज अ वेरिएबल कॉस्ट. हर एक स्टूडेंट से व्हाटएवर फीस आई एम गेटिंग, देयर इज अ GST, गुड्स एंड सर्विस टैक्स, हर एक स्टूडेंट पे लगता है. व्हाटएवर एक्सपेंडिचर द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इज इनकरिंग ऑन एवरी यूनिट ऑफ द आउटपुट, दैट इज अ वेरिएबल कॉस्ट. Suppose we are talking about Hindustan Unilever. They are making Surf Excel. For every 1 kg packet of Surf Excel, they require caustic soda. Caustic soda is a major raw material for making surf. They may be requiring other materials also for every packet. So that is a variable cost for them. Whatever cost you will incur for every unit of output, that is called a variable cost. Fixed cost. For every student, there is no question of salary or rent in Saraf Academy. It is for a month, it is fixed. The fixed cost is fixed for a period. The period may be month, quarter, year, whatever you say. The fixed cost will not increase by increase in the number of students, or will not decrease by decrease in the number of students. The fixed cost will not change on daily basis. The fixed cost will not change for change in the output. But the fixed cost will be changing for 2 reasons. One, maybe your output increases beyond a particular level. Another, maybe because of inflation and all that. Suppose this is YouTube Live, there is no limit for the number of students. But when I take Zoom Live, in the Zoom we have taken a subscription of 100 live students, 99, less than 100, double digit. So live में जब भी स्टूडेंट आते हैं 99 कभी आया ही नहीं है, बैच में 99 से ज्यादा होते हैं, but never 99 से ज्यादा student attended live class. So I have taken Zoom subscription in double digit. But agar if the number of student in the live batch may be 100 or greater than 100, triple digit, then मेरे को subscription change करना पड़ेगा. The monthly subscription which I am paying to Zoom, I need to increase the monthly subscription. That monthly subscription increase is an increase in the fixed cost. Because वो monthly subscription is increasing because of increase in the capacity. The capacity of the organization will not change daily. It will change after 2, 3, 4 years. Otherwise, the fixed cost will change by change in the inflation. अब मान लीजिए स्टाफ लोग का सैलरी हर साल 15 से 20% बढ़ता है. अभी सभी का अप्रैल महीना में सैलरी बढ़ाएं. Even after change the entire system, the camera, the mic and all that, you will find either the Monday evening or the next week class से नया system, which is very good. That is a capital expenditure because this system I think I purchased in 2019 or 20. कोरोना के टाइम पे मैंने लिया था. I have already used for 3, 4 years. Now it requires changes, better voice quality, better system and all that. We need to understand that the investment in the new camera, software, microphone and all that, new system, new all the things, that is a asset, that is not an expenditure. But the payment to Zoom or anything is an expenditure. We can say that these expenditures are increasing because of the change in the capacity or because of inflation and all that. Even the new camera and all that will increase the depreciation because the camera is not for 1 year. The camera, the microphone and all that for 3, 4 years. So they will increase the depreciation because depreciation is an expense. That is also a fixed cost. The fixed cost will increase by not because of more student or less number of units. It will increase because of increase in capacity or it will increase because of increase in the inflation. The variable cost per unit generally remain constant, but they may be per unit down or up because of inflation, because of efficiency in production or whatever. Semi-variable. Suppose telephone expenditure. Telephone expenditure monthly we need to pay a particular fixed amount. But if the number of calls beyond a particular limit, then the additional call charges we need to pay. Suppose electricity. Up till a particular consumption, the electricity charges for a month is constant. But if the unit consumption is more than that, then the per unit charges goes up. Suppose there is a salesman. I said your monthly salary is 20,000. And I said him that whatever number of student converted in a month, for every month student you will be getting 200 rupees. And suppose in a month 50 student newly joined. So 50 into 200, 10,000 and plus fixed salary 20,000, 20,000 plus 10,000, 30,000. So out of salary 30,000, 20,000 is a fixed portion and the 10,000 is a variable portion. But the 30,000 is a semi-variable cost. Because some portion fixed, some portion variable. It's not possible in every type of cost to break the cost into variable and fixed. In some of the cost, it is on the slab. This to this is the cost. This to this is the cost. This to this is the cost. These are semi-variable. But these are not, cannot be segregated into variable and fixed. If you want to control cost, if you want to focus on cost, you need to analyze fixed cost, variable cost, semi-variable cost. Till the time you don't analyze your cost, you cannot control your cost. Cost को control करने के लिए cost analysis जरूरी है. Part C1. CVP. In CVP, I'm talking about cost. Suppose I'm taking an hypothetical numerical example. Type of cost 1000 units. I'm not talking Saraf Academy example, number of students. 2000 units. Type of cost 1000 units and 2000 units. Okay? Suppose cost 1. I'm not mentioning whether the cost is material, labor, overhead is what. I'm talking about cost 1. For 1000 units. Suppose the figures are in dollar. Because your US exam, so it should be in dollar. Yeah? So cost 1. For 1000 units, it is $15,000. For 2000 units, it is $30,000. Cost 2. For 1000 units, it is $7,000. For 2000 units, it is $14,000. Cost 3. For 1000 units, it is 10,000. For 2000 units, it is 15,000. Cost 4. For 1000 units, it is 20,000. For 2000 units, it is 30,000. Cost 5. Cost 5. For 1000 units, it is 50,000. For 2000 units, it is 50,000. Whether it is for Saraf Academy, whether it is for Masiullah Company, whether it's any organization. 5 types of cost at different levels are given. I need to identify, because then only I can control cost. I need to identify which one is variable and which one is fixed. Which one is variable and which one is fixed? Who will say? Cost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see 1, 2, 3, V, 4, 5, F, or something else, whatever you can see. क्या लगता है आप? Which cost is variable and which one is fixed? Which cost is variable and which one is fixed? Wrong or right? At least 1 or 2 students need to say. Please chat in the chat box. Cost 5 is fixed. Then, and cost 5 is fixed cost. Suresh Patel, Saifuddin, I give the example for every student I need to pay to the software provider. So suppose for one student I am giving 20,000. For two students I am giving 40,000. For three students I am giving 60,000. Per student it is 20,000. Whenever you say variable cost will always remain constant per unit. For 10,000 units, 15,000. 1,000 units, 15,000. 15 each. For 2,000 units, 30,000. It's still 15 each. So when the cost per unit is same, it is a variable cost. For every unit, you need to incur that cost. 1,000 units, 7,000. 7. 2,000 units, 7,000. 7 karke 14,000. Both these costs are variable, as Muhammad Saifuddin is saying. Cost 3. For 1,000 units, 10,000, 10. 10 each. 2,000, 10 each, 20,000. It is not 20. It is 15. So it is not variable. And it is not fixed, because fixed is what? Whatever may be the number of units, the total cost remain constant. For 1,000 units, 50,000. For 2,000 units, 50,000. The total cost remain constant, that is a fixed cost. Per unit remain constant, that is a variable cost. But this is not per unit same, and this is also not per unit same, and not total same. When the cost is not per unit same and not in total same, that is a semi-variable cost. Masiul S. Saifuddin, we can't say these two are variables, sir. Variable has to be same per unit. For 1,000 units, 10,000, 2,000 into 10, 20. For 1,000 units, 20,000, 2,000 into 20, 40,000. Then, when the cost is per unit constant, it is variable. When the cost is in total constant, it is fixed. But when the cost is not per unit constant, not in total constant, it is semi-variable. When the cost is per unit constant, variable cost. So 1 and 2. When the cost is constant on total basis, fixed cost. So cost 5. Otherwise, it's a semi-variable cost. Three and 4. Both are semi-variable. Because in a semi-variable cost, it is not per unit same. It is not same in the total basis. Whatever I am teaching, this will be required in your entire syllabus, not only part C, part E, part A, everywhere. It's a normal bread and butter, you can see. एक बार बात कर रहे हैं, अच्छे से समझ लें, so that anywhere when you find this, you don't face any confusion. Now, semi-variable means what? Includes fixed and variable portion both. सेमी फिक्स्ड भी बोलते हैं, मिक्स्ड भी बोलते हैं, सब बोलते हैं सर. Fixed and variable portion both. How we will find out? How we will understand that in cost number 3, how much portion is fixed? Need to understand in 10,000, whatever is the fixed portion, that same fixed portion is there in 15,000. How much you and me don't know, but in 10,000 there is a fixed portion. That same amount is there here also. In 20,000, whatever is the fixed portion, that same amount is there here also. Why the cost is increasing? Because of the variable portion. When the output is more, 1,000 to 2,000 units, then the variable cost is more. For 1,000 units, it is 10,000. For 2,000, it is 15,000. Whatever the increase in the cost is only variable portion. Fixed portion is no increase. So 5,000 is the increase when the units are increasing from 1 to 2,000. So for additional 1,000 units, the variable cost is increasing by 5,000. From 1,000 to 2,000 for additional 1,000 units, the increase in the variable cost is 5,000. For 1,000 units, 5,000 per unit, it is coming 5. Check. For 1,000 unit variable cost, 1,000 into 5, 5,000. 10 minus 5,000. Balance 5,000 fixed. Here also it will come. 2,000 into 5, 10,000 variable. 15,000 minus 10,000, 5,000 fixed. In this semi-variable, the variable portion is $5 per unit each. And the fixed portion is 5,000. Why? Because the change in the cost is only variable portion. Because of the change in the output by 1,000 units. For additional 1,000 units, additional cost is 5,000. So per unit, it is 5. For additional 1,000 units, additional cost is 5,000. So per unit, it is 5. 1,000 into 5, 2,000 into 5 is variable cost. The balance becomes fixed. Similarly here, for additional 1,000 units, the additional cost is 10,000. That is 10 each. So 1,000 into 10, 10,000. 20 minus 10, 10,000 fixed. 2,000 into 10, 20,000. 30,000 minus 20,000. Balance 10,000 fixed. Somebody will say numericals. In the books, the formula is written. Difference in cost by difference in units is variable cost in semi-variable cost. Difference in cost by difference in units is written variable cost per unit in, but I don't think it is a formula. अरे मेरे भाई फिक्स तो दोनों में सेम है, जो इंक्रीज वो वेरिएबल ही तो है. Why the variable has gone up? Because there is more production, more output, more variable. So उसमें समझा फॉर्मूला क्या है? But in the books it is written as a formula. If you think that it is a formula, you will not understand what I will say later. Just after 5 minutes, let me write. Variable cost portion in semi-variable cost. Variable cost portion in semi-variable cost. Incremental cost divided by incremental units. Whatever is the additional units, for that, what is the additional variable cost? 15,000 minus 10,000 divided by 2,000 minus 1,000. So it is coming 5 per unit. So fixed portion, it is 10,000 minus 1,000 into 5 equals to 5,000. Or you can say it is 15,000 minus 2,000 into 5. It is still coming 5,000. From any level you can calculate. Similarly, the second one, 30,000 minus 20,000 increment in cost divided by increment in units equals to 10 per unit. So the fixed portion is 20,000 minus 1000 into 10. So it is coming 10,000. From semi-variable to segregate the variable and fixed portion, we have to find out first of all what is the variable cost. Because whatever is the increment, that is variable, so what is variable per unit? And once you know the variable cost per unit, you can find out fixed cost by deducting the variable portion from the total cost. Suppose in the above example, in cost 3, fixed cost 500 extra when 2000 units are produced. Suppose I will say, what I am saying? I am saying that we understand that cost 3 is semi-variable. We understand. Because it is not per unit same, it is not in total same. But what we are assuming in 10,000, in 15,000, the fixed portion is same. But if I will say on my own, I am saying in the question in the exam, or I am saying directly in the class, in 10,000, 15,000 fixed cost is not same. In 15,000 fixed cost is $500 more. I have said, suppose in cost 3, when 2000 units are produced, fixed cost is 500 extra. That means in 10,000, how much is the fixed cost? I don't know. In 15,000, how much is the fixed cost? I don't know. But in 15,000, the fixed cost is $500 extra. So the increment in the cost 10 to 15 is 5,000. But out of 5,000, 500 is increment in the fixed cost. What is the increment in the variable cost? 5,000 minus 500, 4,500. From 1,000 to 2,000 for additional 1,000 units. So 4,500 by 1,000, it is coming 4.5. Variable cost per unit 4.5. So 1,000 into 4.5, 4,500. Fixed cost 10,000 minus 4,500 is 5,500. But in the next case, it will be coming 6,000. 2,000 into 4.5 is 9,000. 15,000 minus 9,000, the fixed cost is 6,000. Because I am saying that the fixed cost is $500 more. I am saying on my own, variable cost per unit in semi-variable. Variable cost per unit in semi-variable equals to 15,000 minus 10,000 minus 500 divided by 2,000 minus 1,000. Earlier, when nothing was said, my presumption was increment in the cost was variable. But when the question is saying 500 increment is fixed, so the variable portion is this only. And the variable portion per unit is coming 4.5 per unit. This is also written in the book's formula, increment in cost by. But with the formula, you can't solve. This is not theory. This is not numerical. Understand. Theory numerical का बात नहीं हो रहा है. So fixed portion for 1,000 units. अगर 1,000 units की बात करेंगे, fixed portion for 1,000 units, 10,000 minus 1,000 into 4.5. So it is coming 5,500. And fixed portion for 2,000 units, 15,000 minus 2,000 into 4.5. This will be coming 6,000. This will not be coming same. It should not be. I am already saying that on 2,000 units fixed cost is $500 more. I am myself saying that the fixed cost is 500 to ज़्यादा आएगा ही ना. It's not that you mug up and remember a difference in cost by difference in units becomes variable cost per unit. That's not done, man. When there is no change in the fixed cost, then the difference in cost is variable. But if there is a difference in the cost fixed also, then what is the variable portion? When we are taking business decisions, we need to have only two types of cost, variable, fixed. Semi-variable should be segregated into variable and fixed. So in this example, what is the total variable cost per unit? This is coming 15, this is coming 722, this is coming, what do you say, 5. I'm not assuming change. So 15 plus 722 plus 5 is 27 plus 10 is 37 and then the fixed cost. So total variable cost per unit in the above example, total variable cost per unit equals to 10 plus, let me check once again, 15, 7, 15, 7, 5, 5 plus 10. That is the total variable cost 22, 27, 37 per unit. Per unit. And then the total fixed cost. In the first one, semi-variable 5,000. In the second one, variable 10,000. And then the pure fixed cost 50,000. So total is coming 65,000. With the 5 different kind of cost given, we are coming to 2. In Saraf Academy, there may be so many types of expenditures. I want to come to 2 level. कि भैया सब मिला के पर स्टूडेंट वेरिएबल कॉस्ट क्या है एंड टोटल में फिक्स कॉस्ट क्या है. We should not calculate fixed cost per unit generally, because it is not that if the number of students go up, go down, 65,000 will go up, go down. But 37, for every student, it will be 37 plus and so on. So whenever the cost details are given and you want to analyze cost, you need to first of all break down the cost into variable and fixed portion. Till the time you don't break the cost, you can't do any cost analysis. अब आपको 37 में जो भी है, मटेरियल है, लेबर ओवरहेड है, जो भी है, उसको कम कैसे किया जा सकता है, बल्क में मटेरियल खरीदें, लेबर को ट्रेनिंग दे, क्या दे, देखना होगा. फिक्स कॉस्ट, हाउ कैन वी रिड्यूस द फिक्स कॉस्ट बर्डन ऑन द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, वेदर इट्स reducing staff, salary, whatever. Cost analysis will be done when you know the variable and fixed cost. जब आपको अलग से पता चलेगा तभी cost analysis होएगा, otherwise नहीं हो सकता. You can't do cost analysis before analyzing the behavior of the cost. Behavior, nature. Behavior is variable cost, fixed cost, semi-variable cost. Decision making में आपको ये classification जरूर. When you do CMA US Part 1, then there are different classification of cost. Cost by nature, cost by element, cost by behavior, cost by relevancy and all that. वो वहां है, syllabus अलग है. यहाँ पर decision making के लिए हमको केवल चाहिए cost analysis, variable and fixed. When the variable and fixed cost I can analyze, I will be able to do decision making story. What is the decision making? What should be the sale price? What will be the break even? Whether an offer to be accepted or not. So many decisions depends upon the cost classification into variable and fixed. Behavioral classification of cost. Semi variable को variable और fixed में अलग करना है. अगर ऐसा कुछ क्वेश्चन आपको दिया जाए तो क्या आप कर पाएंगे? Variable, fixed, whether you will be able to segregate. If there are 3, 4, 5 types of costs given to you and somebody will ask you, identify the variable cost and fixed cost into this, whether you will be able to do that. क्या सर? Saifuddin, Isa, Suresh, anybody? Cost, volume, profit analysis. For the time being, I am discussing cost. So if you are a registered student with us, anybody, In this notes, when I will mail after the class, I will add one example which will remain as a homework. और आपको उसका आंसर वेरिएबल और फिक्स अलग अलग निकाल कर रखना है. In the Monday class, Monday evening, we will discuss. We are stopping here today because the next story will take another extra time. This much for today. We will be doing the Monday class with an example of semi-variable again, variable fixed, and we will proceed. Without practice, nobody can give exams. Without practice, it's impossible. And when you understand a concept, you need to practice, because then you can remember concept, not mugging up. So I will add one question here, which will remain as a homework. This recording class not to be given in the software. This is just after the class is there in YouTube. You can see the recording anybody whenever you like in the live tab. In our channel live tab, this class will be there. No recording required for this. But from the subsequent classes, you will be able to attend from Zoom, and recordings will be given in the software. Okay? Leaving for today. Thank you to all of you for giving your time and efforts. Even I will say myself also, thank you to Prakash Saraf for helping the student to know about CMA US and to pass the exam. Okay? Tada, bye-bye. Leaving for today.